Let's get to that on a Thursday. It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, 202. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We know what the schedule is going to be for our Blues as they take on the Winnipeg Jets. We will get into that and whether or not the schedule benefits the Blues. We'll also play the lineup game at some point, likely in the first hour of the show. We'll talk to Chris Kerber. We'll have an NFL 4 Downs draft edition, and we'll play Prove Me Wrong at some point. We will need a new Gauntlet contestant, so at some point, if you want to text in and play in the Gauntlet, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. And how did Jim Montgomery turn this ship around?
I noticed you
extra clear,
very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could have used a different letter, and it would have been okay as well. Not okay here, but technically it would have been.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You can't say it here.
It still applies in the sentence.
It applies very well.
Yeah.
You turn this ship or the other letter around because it was. Definitely the other letter.
Oh, Carey.
No, it was.
Oh, Carey.
It wasn't good enough. Not even close. Not even close. Not good enough. Not even close. But the Cardinals also open up a new series in New York. They'll take on the Mets, and right now they're 9-9. So right there average. Second place. 9-9.
They are third.
Yeah, I've got
by percentage, but yeah.
Who's counting?
I mean,
whatever.
They're fifth in runs.
That's why they keep track of it. They're counting.
Yeah. Major League Baseball is counting. They're fifth in runs. They're first in batting average, first in on-base percentage, fourth in slugging percentage. If you go over to the pitching side of things, they're 14th in earn run average. They are 7th in quality starts, 23rd in whip, 24th in batting average against. But a lot of the numbers offensively over the last week and a half have been really good from a pitching standpoint. So I ask you guys, well, there's always something to complain about. What's not to like about the Cards, at least right now? Like if we just stay in the present. The young guys are hitting. Some of the veteran hitters like Donovan and Newbar are ripping the cover off the ball. And again, the pitching has been very good. So what's not to like right now about the Cards? I feel kind of good about them right now.
I'm fine. I'm not ecstatic about the Cardinals. But I'm not down on them.
Yeah.
I can't sit here, being honest with you guys or anybody else who's listening, and start to carve up the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. Their product has been fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
It's been fine.
It's been fine.
It's been
not
fine.
Even fast lane fine.
Yeah, not even fast lane fine. Just fine. Yeah, it's been fine.
It has been fine.
Oh, here we go.
Nah, I don't want to be the Cardinals hater. I'm already known as the Mizzou hater. They think I'm a Dodgers fan.
Kerry,
I don't like the Cardinals.
Call yourself a Mizzou hater. It's not that you're known.
I love the Illini. I don't hate anyone. I love all. Everyone.
This guy.
Black and gold, red and white. I love all colors.
Okay.
How about Mizzou, black and gold?
I said black and gold.
No, you didn't. You said black and gold.
I see what he did there. Good catch.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
How about Mizzou, black and gold?
Black and gold is black and gold.
No, it's different, Kerry.
No, it's different. You know it, Mr. Steeler.
I don't think that...
Exactly.
I don't think that matters. I also went to Matthews Dickey, played for Matthews Dickey, and went to Hazel Central. So I got a lot of black and gold in my life.
Specifically, what about Mizzou, black and gold?
I think they all run together, Jamie.
No, I don't think
that there's a difference between Mizzou and Matthews Dickey black and gold, or Mizzou and Hazelwood Central black and gold, or Mizzou and Pittsburgh Steelers black and gold.
So you'd have no problem right now saying, I love Mizzou black and gold.
I love black and gold.
No, I didn't. That's not quite what I said.
Hey,
There's something about that word that you're saying.
Yeah?
I can't hear it properly.
Then at least just own it, okay?
Kerry, who won the 2023 Cotton Bowl?
Probably Texas. Was Texas playing in it?
It was Mizzou.
Who did they beat?
Ohio State.
Oh, that Ohio State team that didn't have any of their players. I remember that.
There it is.
It's back.
It's back. We knew we'd get them.
Yep.
No, say it, Kerry. Like the Cardinals, I'm just talking about right now. I'm not talking about projecting. I'm not talking about down the road. I'm just talking about this product right now. It's not bad.
I am very excited. I saw a poll yesterday, not Marsh's poll. He didn't put that one out there. There was a poll.
But when he does, it's usually pretty good.
Usually jump on. Asking, are you pleasantly surprised? Are you okay with where they are? Are you, and most people were pleasantly surprised. But then in the comment section, it said, we're pleasantly surprised, and they're 9-9.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the thought process would be that they would be much worse than what they are right now, right?
Well, even after not the Twins, but after the Boston series.
Yeah, you
that
kind of
felt like, oh, this is going to be a long season.
Yeah.
And they've won the last 2 series against the Astros and Phillies, 2 teams that have contended. I think that counts for something. I'm not saying this is a World Series team. I'm not even saying that they're going to make the playoffs. But from what I'm seeing right now, after complaining for most of the offseason, I've been pleasantly surprised by what we've seen. Again, after the batting practice display at Boston. When we were at Centene the one day, that was incredibly frustrating. Mm-hmm. That was the game that it wasn't the 18-run game, but it was the 13. No, which one was that?
Yeah, that was Friday. I think they scored 13 or 14 runs.
Yeah, 13-9. They lost 13-9. Like, we sat there, we're like, what the hell? And just coming off the Angels series in which they dropped two of 3. I'm pleasantly surprised with how the Cardinals are playing right now.
Well, and you're not doing it with, you're doing it without a productive Wilson Contreras. Now he's, maybe starting to find some things. Mm-hmm. But Mason Wynn, injured. He wasn't hitting well either.
Shortstops out.
Yeah. So it seems like, that next man up mentality is sort of made its way from the Enterprise Center down to Busch Stadium. I
see that. I know that the Cardinals are playing fine. This show has nothing to say right now. I'm looking at you guys right now. You got nothing to say. That's how I know the Cardinals are pretty good. They are
we're
not bitching.
Well. But we're not praising and we're not complaining.
Right.
We're like 500.
Yeah.
Just like the Cardinals.
Wow.
What?
You're not wrong. I'm excited.
You're making noise. Well, then let's go.
I said you're not wrong.
Well, you made noise before that.
Why do I feel like you're not saying something that you want to say
today? I don't know why. Is your buddy Ollie listening today?
Ollie's my guy. Yeah. I've been trying to get him on the show. Ollie, if you're listening, give me a call, brother. I don't know if he's going to be on anytime soon. He can come on our show. He can come on our show anytime. I'd love to have him in studio.
I'd love to have him on, too.
He's always welcome.
Come in studio.
Yes.
Have a good time.
Even more so.
Absolutely.
But honestly.
We got a text from the 816. You don't make the playoffs in April, but you can lose them, and that's what the Cardinals are not doing right now. They're staying 500. They're making sure that they're in the mix, and I think as a Cardinal fan, you should be happy about that, because if you look back last year, you're like, oh, my gosh. This season's over, and it was right after the Dodgers series, which I believe was the first one of the season.
Yeah, we knew right then and there they were done.
I'll give it to you. All right, you want it, I'll give it to you. It's still early.
Anthony's talking to you.
There it is.
I'll give it to you. You asked, I shall give. It's still early. Right. I'm not, again, the Blues.
Oh, is this the stable Carey
even
again?
Keel?
Yeah, I think so.
This will last a week.
I'm not going to ride the roller coaster, Carey.
This will last a week.
Because we watched the Blues season, and I told you, Marshy knows, once they started having that, once they won more than 3 games, 5, 6, I'm like, okay, I'm on board. But that was what? Game 70? 70? Game 70?
70.
Game 70? Game 65? 70? Somewhere around there? Like, you were well into the season before I was able to say, yeah, I believe. Mm-hmm. And now, Cardinals are 18. They're not even 20 games into the season. And you all want me to throw a parade?
No,
you want me to drive
we're
down
not talking about throwing a parade.
Market Street
I'm just talking about
have a pickup truck.
How much can you complain?
Cardinals flag waving from it and have Fred Bird on the back?
That's my choice, okay?
Yeah, okay.
That's my choice to have those things on my truck.
This is what's going on. Carey saw Shohei Ohtani hit a ball out of the stadium last night. And he has nothing to say about the Cardinals that is positive.
No, I don't have anything to say that's negative either.
Okay.
I'm taking the wait-and-see approach.
Okay. Well, you know what, Carey?
3-3-0 gets it. So let's start the we're mediocre chance.
It's better than the we're terrible. Let's not watch this in July chance.
I agree, but we aren't in July yet.
Fair enough.
We're still in April.
By the way, how did your Dodgers do last night?
I don't know. How did they do?
How did your Dodgers do last night, Marsh?
Did they lose or win? 8-7.
They won.
8-7.
By 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mookie Betts went over. That's all I cared about.
Ooh, you guys both took the old L.
Shohei hit a home run in his first at bat. Should have took him. Got a hit. a run,
How did Bet the Board go last
and
week?
an RBI.
Kerry lost.
Yeah.
Marsh lost.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Did you lose?
It depends on what you did.
No.
I won.
I lost.
Yes! The world is right again. Nice job, guys. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Nice job to all three of you.
Whatever.
That's terrible.
Let's do the Cardinals lineup game next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you're a contractor or own a business that needs recycling, my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals are there to help you out. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget, but you don't have to be a contractor. You don't have to own your own business. If you have some things that need recycling, some things that you could get rid of, Scrap Mart can help you as well. For you contractors, they understand the job site cleanup is often a mess. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you have to do during cleanup. If you're a plumber, heating and cooling, excavator, or any type of contractor, Scrap Mart Metals Recycling can make your job easier. If you own heavy equipment, it breaks down time and time again. You have to repair it over and over again. When the time comes to end your suffering, Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, they have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peevely, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It is recycling made easy. Just go to scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. Again, that's scrapmartmetals.com.
Tonight, the Cardinals will open up a new series against the New York Mets. It'll be Andre Palante, who's 2-0 with a 2.20 ERA, versus Griffin Canning, who is a right-handed pitcher. He's 1-1 with a 4.20 ERA. Time to play the lineup game, boys. So we got a right-hander on the hill for the New York Metropolitans. Are you guys ready to play?
Yeah, this one's easy. Go ahead, Anthony.
Show us Lars Taylor Tatsui. Newbar.
International superstar.
Watch out, don't run into any walls or anything.
When do you think Nuke gets a rest?
Never.
He had a rest last week.
Did he? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Pretty sure.
You don't know that for sure.
I think he did.
I think
he had
he
a
did
day
too.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we going here? Wilson?
It was Wilson yesterday against an RHP. So, yeah, I'd say show us Wilson Contreras, please.
You don't know how to play first base. It's not that hard. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
It's so good.
This got to be Donnie, right? Leading the league in hits,
Yeah.
third in batting average. Show us Brendan Donovan.
Look at that guy. Vibrant, handsome, hair.
All right. Guys, mind if I do this one?
Nah, you
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
go ahead, buddy.
Show us Nolan Arenado.
A lot of people think you get in your mid-30s and your career's over, but like I always say, until they stop scouting, I ain't going to stop playing.
All right, yesterday this was Alec Burleson. Do you see any need for a change?
Nope.
I don't either. Go
Show
for
us Alec Burleson.
I thought I told you I'm a star. You're already acting like you're a star, and we haven't even opened yet.
it. Jordan Walker.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Go for it, Jamie.
Show us Jordan Walker.
Die for every ball. It's boring otherwise, plus it looks harder. The most important play in right field is what I like to call the janitor throw. Guaranteed out every time. I call it the janitor throw because it cleans up that are trying to take an extra base on you.
So yesterday this was Poso, but I don't think that Poso is going to start 2 days in a row.
No.
No, it's going to be Pajes at 7?
It's either Pajes at 7 or if I'm
Gorman.
looking at things
You gotta have Gorman.
correctly, it's Gorman.
I'd say it's Gorman.
I think it's Gorman, then
Pajes.
Pajes, yeah.
Yes.
Show us Nolan Gorman.
Swing Serenade is brought to you by Gorman's.
Dingers! Hang me a curve and I will hit. Dingers!
I like that one.
I do too.
All right, now Pajes.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Show us Pedro Pajes.
Smithies, throw this at him. You're out!
Maybe.
All right. Carey?
Show us Victor Scott.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You did it. Is that our first one?
Think so?
I think
our
that's
first perfect lineup?
Perfect game.
Good job, guys.
Good work.
Very impressive.
Thank you. Marsh, go ahead and run it.
All right, leading off in left field, Lars Newbar batting second. First baseman, Wilson Contreras batting third. The shortstop, Brendan Donovan, your cleanup hitter. Third baseman, Nolan Arenado batting fifth. DH, Alec Burleson batting sixth. In right field, Jordan Walker batting seventh. Second baseman, Nolan Gorman batting eighth. Catching, Pedro Pajes. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott, the second.
Back. Stay fair! Stay fair, stay fair! Go fair, go fair!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
Zoosh brings up a good point. So what are we going to do now for the rest of the segment? LOL. Yeah. We didn't think about that.
What do you mean?
Well, typically,
We're perfect.
we struggle, at least in a couple of those spots.
Takes a lot of time.
Take some time.
Yeah.
Just
got it
backfire,
done.
big time.
We got it done pretty quickly.
Yeah,
there.
we did.
We got a lot of time to fill.
Yep.
You guys were really good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marsh. Home run derby time. Marsh, it's still 3-1-1, right?
3-1-1-0,
I had
yes.
nothing.
Nobody hit a home run the other night because the Cardinals did not
Goose egg.
score.
I know.
He did not score a run. So I am going to go with a lefty today, Alec Burleson.
Is it on me?
Sure.
I'm going to go with the lefty as well. I was glad you didn't take my guy. He's going to get a couple of them today.
Oh, boy.
Nolan Gorman.
I will take Lars Nootbaar, please.
Okay. Give me Nolan Arenado.
All right.
Who'd you think I had this time? Marshy, who'd you start trying?
I actually didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know who you were going to go with.
All right.
Yeah.
So I've got Nootbaar. Jamie's got Arenado. Marsh took Burleson. And CD has Nolan Gorman. So entering play tonight, Cards and Mets. Opportunity for the Cardinals. I mean, Andre Palante has pitched very well to start the season. Griffin Canning, who's bounced around the league a lot, has not been great. So this is an opportunity for the Cardinals and kind of I don't know if it's a pure hitter's park. I think it plays more fair. But for the Cardinals and this offense to get going. The Mets do have 7 wins in their last 10 meetings with the Cardinals, though. So something to consider. The Mets have had their number. But not this Cardinals team.
Cardinals are due.
Cardinals are due is right.
Yeah.
I've been very impressed thus far by Andre Palante. Not because he's not capable, but because he had a rough spring training. And I know that there was some conversation whether or not the Cardinals would stick with him, but they're being rewarded for saying, you know what? The sample size was much larger a year ago. Spring training stats certainly aren't indicative of whether or not a guy is going to perform poorly. Mm-hmm. So let's keep Andre Palante in the starting rotation. And again, it's worked out.
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job. Getting that opportunity going into spring training, we didn't know what to expect, and in coming out of it, there was conversation that maybe he wasn't one of the guys that was going to be in the starting rotation, but he's done a fantastic job. He's been pitching extremely well, and he's doing the things that you need to do. I've said this time and time again. I think these starting pitchers, they need to give you quality starts at bare minimum. Like you can't give me 5 innings. Give me 6. I prefer 7 if you're capable of doing it with under 100 pitches. And if you're performing well, that way you don't get that bullpen. I think in the last few years we saw the bullpen get just beat up at times because they had to pitch so many innings because you weren't getting enough innings from your starters, which is why you went out and got Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson last year because they were innings eaters. So your bullpen isn't so taxed by the time you get to May, June, definitely by July. So, I want more from the starting. I mean, as a coach, you're always greedy. You always want more when guys are performing well. Give me more. Give me 7 innings tonight. Give me 8 if you can. Keep going. Don't come out of Give me 8 innings if you can.
That should be the goal.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
If you're effective,
you got 8.
Plus, somebody like Palante is not a strikeout.
Oh, and Ollie doesn't like Palante, so he'll go 8 for sure.
Why doesn't he like Palante?
Well, because last year he pulled pitchers after 6 innings, 5 innings, and Palante, he just let him sit out there and throw 7, 8 as long as he wanted. He didn't protect him at all.
Is that how that works?
I don't. Doesn't sound right.
I don't think so.
No.
We talked about it last year. Literally. We said, why is Palante pitched so deep into games? He's the only one that leaves him out there.
He's just a man.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Or he doesn't like him. I don't know.
I don't think there's any in between either.
No. No.
First pitch tonight between the Cardinals and the Mets at Citi Field is slated for 6:10 local time. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Does the round 1 schedule in the NHL, the full round 1 schedule, actually benefit the Blues? That's next on 101 ESPN.
With over 2 decades of family ownership and operation, my friends over at E&B Granite, they have been St. Louis's trusted name when it comes to renovations, whether it's your kitchen, your bathroom, or that outdoor living space. E&B Granite has got you covered. They've got great ideas, great staff, and great product. They've got an extensive selection of custom countertops to cabinets to fit any budget that you've got, any design that you're looking to accomplish. They also have great flooring, lots of different patterns and things to choose from. They really are the best in the business. For me, I stopped in there at 6135 Manchester Ave, talked to the in-house design staff, and went through my kitchen and what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do. They came up with some unbelievable ideas, great countertops, great backsplash. Fantastic job. This is why I highly recommend them. So please, any project that you have as far as your kitchen, bathroom, or outdoor space, give them a call, book an appointment. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300. Or you can always visit them, enbgranite.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. We just did the lineup game. The Cardinals are taking on the New York Mets tonight. Andre Pallante on the mound going up against Griffin Canning. First pitch is at 6:10. The schedule for round one between the Blues and the Jets has been announced. Game one will be on Saturday, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 4. Puck drop is at 5. We'll talk with voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, Chris Kerber, at 3:15. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Lawnuff Chevrolet and Johnny Lawnuff Autoplex. See them at lawnuff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
Schedule for the Jets Blues playoff series. It's Fast on 101 ESPN. Of course, we'll cover all the games for you right here on your home of the Blues, the Blues Radio Network, 101 ESPN. On Saturday, April 19th, the Blues and Jets will drop the puck at 5 o'clock Central Time. 5 o'clock in Winnipeg. Game 2 will be on Monday at 6:30 in Winnipeg. Then they'll have a couple of days off. They won't play again until next Thursday, when they play at 8:30.
Oh.
Game 4 would be Sunday at noon. 8:30.
That's not bad. That's the schedule we had, a couple of years ago. Every game was at 9 o'clock at night, 9:15.
Yeah.
I think a couple were like 9:45.
So here's the question then. Does the round 1 schedule benefit the Blues at all? Do you see any? Because you just mentioned a potential problem. If you're playing late consistently, you're not used to it. But ultimately, is there any sort of scheduling benefit?
I don't know. I mean, both teams are the same schedule. Mm-hmm. The travel's not rigorous.
What about the 2 days off with the team that's been grinding?
Yeah, but Winnipeg's getting 2 days off too.
Yeah, but Winnipeg's a bunch of scumbags. What I'm talking about is the Blues.
I don't see. Here's the only thing that can become an advantage, and I don't know anything about Dylan Holloway's injury. I don't. It's week to week. We'll be evaluating every week, and his lower body. That's it. As vague as they've been, and that's all I know. And at playoff time, I'm not poking and prodding around. You know, I don't need Army getting mad at me, yelling at me and stuff, call me names and make me feel bad.
I could see him being vicious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Imagine leaking an injury to one of his players in playoffs. Yeah, no. That's,
no.
You'd be beheaded for that, honestly. Anyways.
And you're not speaking figuratively. You're speaking literally.
No, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. All right, continue.
So anyway, Dylan Holloway, if it is week to week, let's say you get an extra 4 days, basically 2 days between the two games and 2 games, 4 days is a lot. Who knows, So that to me is the only part where it could be advantageous for the Blues. Otherwise, both teams are going to be same schedule. Mm-hmm. It's a quick flight straight up and down for both teams. You're in the same time zone. You're not worried about that stuff. The 2 days off for both teams would be good to clear up bumps and bruises, ice things down. Nothing from a strategic point is going to change. Mm-hmm. That you wouldn't have already taken care of post-game or the next day anyways.
Yeah.
So quite honestly, it makes for, here's the good part about it. It will make for a more exciting series because teams will be more rested between certain games, which means they're going to come out hard every time. So for me, the greatest day of the season is day 1 of the NHL playoffs. Teams come out with such a torrid pace. They hit everything that moves. It's unbelievable to watch because they're full of energy. And here we go. It's game 1, and we're going to set the tone. As the series goes deeper, a lot of times the play slows down a bit. Doesn't mean the physicality goes away, but players are getting tired, they're getting banged up. It's a grind. You get an extra day off in between the one set of games, an extra day off again. You're like, horses are a little more rested up. Mm-hmm. So game 3 is going to be high intensity here in St. Louis. So Blues fans are going to get a treat. Yeah. They're going to get 2 well-rested teams that are ready to get after each other. And whatever happened in Winnipeg is carrying over, by the way.
Absolutely.
So if the Blues are lucky enough to steal one up in Winnipeg, game 1 here, or game 3, game 1 in St. Louis is massive. Because now if you win, you're up.
Right.
And the other team's chasing you now. That's the whole point, trying to steal one on the road. But that's the benefit of having those extra days in the middle there. That'll let your team be well-rested.
I think also the travel is not nearly as. How long is the flight to Winnipeg?
Depending on the day.
2.5 hours?
No, 2 hours.
2 hours? So I think that plays a part into it as well. You're not traveling all the way to L.A. or traveling all the way to Florida. Like, it helps when you don't have to travel on a plane for 3 or 4 hours, and you can get in and out, get rested. You don't. Time zone is the same, correct?
Yes, sir.
Time zone is the same, so it's not that much change. I think all of those things help as well. So, and both teams have to deal with it. As you said, there's not really an advantage for either team. You're both dealing with the same thing, but just not having to travel, be on a plane after a game for 4 hours, that is the worst. Like traveling home after a game for 4 hours and you're sitting there and your legs are cramping up, you're tight, you just played 3.5 hours of a game. I think that's a good thing for the Blues as well.
So other than a series win for the Blues, what are you guys hoping to gain or see from this team in this series?
I want to see them play at their best. I want to see them play like they did during that 12-game winning streak. Stylistically, the effort that they put in, not that they didn't put any effort into the losses. It's just, they played superior opponents like Minnesota. But it looks different, right? I want to know that even if they lose this series, that was the best version of this Blues team. Mm-hmm. And I do think they're very difficult to beat when they're at their best. Now, if Winnipeg just happens to play its best, there's a reason why they finish more points than anybody else in the NHL. But for me, if this Blues team, if they bow out early and it looks ugly and it's like, you know what, this is not the same team that we saw during that 12-game winning streak, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, for me, so look, on paper, this should be a 5-game series and Winnipeg should win. On paper. Mm-hmm. But the beauty of hockey is it doesn't get played on paper. It gets played on the ice, Anthony. And you can change things quickly.
What's that?
Yeah, ice. Write it down. Outdoor skates. Ice, natural ice, hockey. Or artificial ice is fine, too.
Played.
Jet ice as well.
On ice. Now, what'd you say? Not paper?
Not paper.
Not paper. Mm-hmm. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Baseball, though, is played on paper. Right?
Baseball.
Well,
we already have spreadsheets.
Baseball's played on spreadsheets. Got it. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
So played on the field.
The field?
Nah, it's not what I heard.
It's not what I wrote down.
Okay.
Okay, you know better.
I don't want to confuse them.
You know better.
All right.
So the Blues can outwill the opponent. Just like we've seen teams in the past in the Stanley Cup playoffs that are on paper not as good as their opponent. You can beat them. What I want to see is the Blues make this a series. Full reverse here. I want the Blues to win, okay? But I want to see them make this a series. Mm-hmm. 6 games, 7 games. Obviously, winning a series would be awesome. But I think that this team needs to know where they're at because the Winnipeg Jets are the best team in the league, regular season. Where are you? Like, are you four games and done? Then you really weren't as close as you thought you were.
Right.
That's a team that, okay, thank goodness they limped into the playoffs. If you're 5 games, a little better. 6, 7, hey, that was a real opponent. Had we been able to get to wild card 2 or 3rd place in division, maybe we don't have to play the best team in the league and things go a little different.
Right. And
then if you win the series, well, then all bets are off. At that point, you become a Stanley Cup contender. Mm-hmm. It's bottom line. I don't care who you play after that. Colorado, Vegas, doesn't matter. If you beat the best team in the league, you become a contender right there.
What about for you guys? Marsh, you posed the question.
Yeah.
In terms of what do you want to see outside of a win?
I'm kind of like a mixture of both of you guys. Like, I want to see them play their best hockey, but, at the same time, I also want to see this team not, I don't want to say like embarrass themselves by any means, but I want people to come out of the playoffs being like, damn, we got to look out for that team in the next couple of years because this is a team that is going to make strides here in the next few seasons. And I think they can be that team. I really do. They got the coach. They have the goaltending. I think they have the defense, and they have some weapons on forward. And they're only going to continue to get better. Mm-hmm. So I think they can win this series. I really do. And I think all the pressure right now is on the Jets because of what they've done in the past in the playoffs. And the Blues essentially are playing with house money. I don't think anybody's given them a shot except for people here in St. Louis. But this is absolutely a series that I think the Blues can steal for sure. I don't know how far they'll go in the playoffs. Hopefully they win the Stanley Cup. That's what everybody's hoping for. But I think if they're going to win a series, I think this could be the one.
I want to see them be physical from start to finish. You talked about Foxa yesterday, how you don't think he knows how to hit people, but he's just hitting people.
Just throws his body into people.
Do that. Like but because the intensity ratchets up once you get to the playoffs. Like everybody knows, you're in the playoffs. It is a completely different animal. I don't know why that mindset. It's not like you're saving anything.
Nope.
But it's like every possession, it's something more once you get into the playoffs, and both sides know it. Both sides know this is. If we don't fit in the regular season, you got more games. Essentially, now you got 4 games, maybe 7, and that could be it if you don't take care of your business. So that's why the intensity is up. I want the Blues to bring that intensity to the game. Don't let it be brought to them. If you do that, I think you give yourself a chance. And if you're not the better team on paper, that's a way you can gain an advantage by being more physical, by being more aggressive, controlled aggression, not going out of your way to do things that aren't in your character. But when the opportunity presents itself, you hit a guy, let him know I'm here, I'm going to be here, and this is going to be a tough game for you all to try to find a way to win.
So we get a comment in the snake pit from Josh Jones. He says, Jamie, winning the President's Trophy doesn't necessarily mean anything. Josh, you're 100% right. I won 2 of them. It meant nothing.
Yeah.
Meant nothing. But what it does mean is that your team is the best team after 82 games, which means consistently your team was better than everybody else in the NHL. It sets you up to be the ultimate villain, is what it does. But it needs to be at least recognized that was the best team in 82 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's all it means.
They earn that heading into the playoffs. Once the playoffs start, forget it.
Of you better be careful.
Right.
We also got a text from Grant Francis fan club, don't repeat 2009. And what happened in 2009 was the Blues made it to the playoffs after quite a few years of not making the playoffs. They play the Vancouver Canucks. They get swept. They would then go on to miss the playoffs 2 years in a row before finally making it back and then winning a playoff series. So I think you need to build momentum. Even if you don't win this series, make it a series and carry that momentum into next season, knowing, hey, we're right there and we can be a player here in the NHL in the next few years. But if you get swept and then you repeat what happened after 2009, I think, in my opinion, you're going backwards.
Yeah, so here's something that I want to identify right now is the Blues made the playoffs. They were left for dead. They were 8 points out of a playoff spot going into the Four Nations. No chance. No chance. They made the playoffs. Jimmy Snuggerud, we probably won't see him until maybe the last game of the season. Who knows? They're going for a national championship. We got him early. 4 points in 7 games. Zach Bolduc, 20 goal scorer, 19. I know. But had he played as much as he should have, he'd have been well over 20 goals.
I'd say 30.
So, maybe, right? So the original plan for the Blues in this retool was to make the playoffs next year. The fact that you made it this year, you're a year ahead of schedule. And I don't think these young players are going to get worse between now and next year. They're going to take control of the team even more.
Right.
And Dvorsky, we've barely seen him. So he's going to have a nice chance to watch playoff hockey, maybe come up at some point and practice with the guys, and then train all summer. And you're adding one more piece to the puzzle next year. So even though the Blues, if they lose in the first round, you have to look at the successes. And the success, quite honestly, is that they made the playoffs coming from nowhere to be a part of this.
That's Jamie Rivers. It's Kerry Davis. That's Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We'll have game 1 for you right here on 101 to ESPN starting at 4 o'clock with our pregame show. And the puck will drop at about 5 o'clock in Winnipeg. And, of course, we'll have all the game coverage for you on the Blues Radio Network. What's Trending is next. There's a lot of dealerships that will boast about having the best selection and the best financing and the best pricing, but then you go out to the dealership and you've been looking at a vehicle online and all of a sudden they don't even have that right on their lot. That's not Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. They have over 800 new and used vehicles, and it's all in one location. So when you go to AutoCentersNissan.com, like my wife Chris and I did, and we started checking out some of the different vehicles that they had, different price points, some new, some pre-owned, and you find a vehicle vehicle or vehicles that you want to test drive, Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum will have that vehicle there on their lot. Right up this street from South County, no scavenger hunt required when it comes to finding your next new vehicle. And they have financing for everyone that walks through the door. Other dealerships are going to say, hey, we've got the best financing, but they overpromise and underdeliver. Not Auto Centers. Everyone that walks through the door can drive out there can drive away with a brand new Nissan that's financed by Auto Centers Nissan. Check them out online, autocentersnissan.com. When you do head out to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Big inventory, bigger savings, zero nonsense.
Topics in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, I wanted to take today to talk about certain players changing things in their game that have ultimately made them a better player. Jordan Kyrou, he has changed up his defensive game, and this is the best plus-minus that he's had in his career. Plus 23 in the plus-minus department this season. A young local product who was batting right-handed switched to left-handed and went 3 for 4 last night. Killing in Stalter.
So my question, he made subtle changes, like batting from the right side.
Left side.
The left side, which is his correct side. Yeah. 3 for 4. He was. He wore out the third base side last night. He was fired up. He was. He's not he loves soccer and he really likes football, and I'm trying to get him more into baseball, and he couldn't care less. And I'm like, if we just give him a little success. So he went 0 for go from that first game, but last night he
batting from the wrong side.
He's batting from the wrong side at least one time.
He's challenging himself.
He was for no reason. Yeah, but he had a couple hits last night. The boys won, so that was that was funny.
The question I have for you guys is, what tweaks in your game did you make that changed your career?
Ooh.
For me, it was pass protection is always. I told you all the story about pass protection when I got to Indianapolis. Running back coach said, if you can't block, if you can't pass protect for number 18, you won't have a job. Peyton Manning. So that was the most important thing as a running back. If you're not named, pick a Hall of Famer. You better know how to pass block. But when I got to Pittsburgh, I had a running back coach, Kerber Wilson, who taught me. I already knew how to block, but how to prepare for who was blitzing, and looking at and understanding the rotation of the safeties, knowing, okay, that guy's about to blitz, which if I know that prior to him actually blitzing, I can get there faster, be in a better position to pick up the blitz, and now I'm in a better spot to keep my quarterback from getting hit. So that subtle change, which was taught to me by a coach, and I'm in my 4th year, hadn't learned that yet, that changed my life, because now I don't worry about where they're blitzing or who's blitzing. I know who's blitzing, and I can get there faster, and I can block them better.
Yeah, I've told this a number of times. When I was drafted as a high-scoring defenseman. Mm-hmm. Had 120-some points as a defenseman in one season. Still second highest ever in junior history. Just put it out there.
Nice.
So that's what
big deal.
That's what I was drafted as. When I came here, that's what I started as. I played on the power play, played with Al McInnes on the power play, all this stuff, and things are going pretty good. And then I was told by a head coach named Mike Keenan that he didn't need me to play offensively. We had Pronger, we had McInnes, and we had Steve Duchesne, and those guys were already doing that stuff. So if I carried the puck across the blue line, like offensively, then I'd get benched or sat in the press box. What he needed from me was to run around and play physical, block shots, and be one of those guys, getting guys' faces and do things like that. Which was weird because when I came in the league, I was 6'1", I was probably like 185. I was built for speed, not for brawn, And so I was blessed with the ability, because of my hockey smarts, I could always time a hit. I could see a guy with his head down or not looking and time a hit. Mm-hmm. And then it looks a lot bigger than it actually is. Mm-hmm. But then the next year he came in I was bigger, heavier. I put on like 16 pounds. And and that changed the trajectory of my career completely, because from that moment on, I was never viewed as a power play / offensive defenseman. I was a shutdown physical defenseman, penalty killer. Mm-hmm. And it was fine. I mean, I ended up with a fine career. But it sure would have been nice to be running a power play for 10 years and playing that game. The body would have felt a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
you did what was needed for the team.
Yeah. The hard part about it is that even though I played defense in junior, I played the position defense. I didn't play defense. Like, you think Erik Karlsson for the Pittsburgh Penguins is offense? I had to probably remember my coach my second year said, hey, as a new coach, my second year junior, I goes, hey, son, do you realize you're a defenseman? He's like, I got you down behind the opponent's net, like passing pucks. And he's like, what the hell?
Didn't he ask if you knew the goalie's name?
He'd ask me, he goes, how often have you met your goalie? Do you know his name? And
no, sir, I don't.
So it was a lot of work. It really was, because I was completely changing everything I had been my entire life as a hockey player, was playing one style. And I had to learn how to be defensive, more physical, and it's a lot. You look at the lineup every night, you're looking over and going, holy crap, I got to play against these guys. Like, it's all the other teams' knuckle draggers that are out there waiting to kill you. And
sure.
So, but it worked out. It was hard, but it worked out.
I feel like that coaching mindset is completely different than what we're seeing from Jim Montgomery.
God, I wish I would have had Monty as my head coach. Monty would have probably giggled at me down behind the opponent's net and said, okay, let's mix in a little bit of defense, okay?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I want you to be yourself.
Just a smidge.
Just a little not like yourself when you're playing defense.
Yeah, Jim Montgomery would have been perfect for me. He would have been the ultimate coach for me coming in because he was a high point getter in college and all that stuff. Like, he understands that some of these players have offensive instincts that you can't teach.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have tried to change that. And that's why he's not changing Bolduc. That's why he's changing Snuggie. He's changing Kyrou to a more well-rounded player, but not putting handcuffs on him offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I feel like that's the difference between coaches nowadays and the past. Like, I understand the idea of, like, hey, we need you to do this certain role and do it well. Otherwise, we might not be successful. But also, like, if a player isn't accustomed to doing that, you're putting them outside their comfort zone. I don't think they're going to succeed otherwise. You know, obviously, Jamie, you know, you were put in that position and it worked out for you, but, you know, some players it doesn't.
Was so hard.
I'm sure it was.
It was so hard to learn to be a defensive defenseman. I was in the video room. I would watch my favorite, like, defensive defensemen, where they position themselves, their stick work. Like, it was redoing everything.
Yeah, that has to be tough. And Marsh, to your point, if coaches can focus in on your strengths as opposed to what you don't do, or saying, oh, I have a player, I can just fit him into whatever I need, whatever the roster's calling for, that's where you're really not asking a player to be naturally who they are, which I think, Jamie, is what happened to you. Now, credit to you, you adjusted and you changed your game so that you could, you know, carve out a very nice career in the NHL for a long time. But I can only imagine the thoughts you've had over the years where it's like, man, if I got the right system, right coach, what it could have been.
Yeah.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah. Throw me the ball. Played a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time's right.
Would have made a lot more money. Yeah. That would have been fun. Would have been fun.
It's life.
You know what, though?
You adjust.
You guys did great.
Thank you.
Because you're right here.
Look where we are.
We're here.
Yep.
Yeah.
We made it.
I mean, who needs to be on the beach in the Bahamas? I'm here.
Who would want
You
that?
can still do that.
Not as much.
No, definitely not as much. No. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but when Mason Wynn does return from the IL, what do you do with Thomas Ajacey, who's off to a good start? The answer might be obvious, but it also might not be what's best for the Cardinals. That's next on 101 ESPN.
If you're looking to change the look of your vehicle, whether it's a brand new vehicle or an older vehicle, visit my friends over at Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. I've had plenty of work done to my pickup truck over there. They do a fantastic job. Absolutely love all of the accessories that they have available for every car out there, whether it's a Jeep, Bronco, a van, a pickup truck. They've got you covered, and they've got everything right there in their 25,000 square foot facility. By the way, it's the largest showroom in the area. Easy to find, too. It's located in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70, Cave Springs Boulevard exit. When you walk in, please ask for Shelby or Paul. Tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you, and they're going to take great care of you. And if you're looking for tires of any kind, they've got you covered for any vehicle. It doesn't have to be oversized tires or off-road tires. They have everything there at Pure Performance. They also now have tires for your ATV, UTV, and your golf cart. So absolutely no excuses not to head into Pure Performance. And, oh, wait, don't forget they've got a full-service garage. So even if you're not getting accessories, you can get your car fixed by the best technicians in the area. So please stop by, see their showroom, talk to the people there who work there. They're awesome. Or you can visit them online at pureperformance.com. That's Pure Performance. Pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
We discussed this a little bit yesterday, but Thomas Saggesi's off to a really nice start. He's sitting over, I think, 400 at this point. He's not in the lineup tonight, though. And at some point, Mason Wynn will come off the IL, and he'll go back to short, and then you got to mix in Brandon Donovan elsewhere. But what's the best route for this Cardinals roster? It's Fastline on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. The obvious answer to the Thomas Saggesi question here might not be the one that makes everybody happy. The obvious answer is he just goes back down to AAA.
Stop, Anthony.
He's a young enough player where you don't want to put him on the bench if you don't have a clear route to play him. And I know Jamie speaks for the people, and the people are saying, I don't speak
for anybody. I speak, and people maybe listen.
Maybe.
I don't represent the people. They do not pick me to represent them. Let's make it clear.
I think a lot of people have share Jamie's thought process, which is that.
Which one?
This one about Thomas Saggesi. He should be on the roster. Like, just keep all the best players, and he's one of the best players.
Yeah.
The problem is he's not a bench player. You don't want him to be a bench player. You want him to get consistent at bats, and I just don't know if there's an avenue up here for that.
So, quick question. Mason Wynn comes back. Where does Brendan Donovan go first? Because right now you've got your four outfielders that you're kind of rotating.
Second base, yeah.
And so then where does Gorman go? There's a method to my madness here.
Yeah, DH, or bench.
Okay.
DH/bench.
Okay, so realistically, and this, you might as well just bang your head off a wall because...
I've done that. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, maybe not you, Anthony, because you took it literal. Mm-hmm. Okay, you may get frustrated with what I'm about to say. That's for you. Is that the only way out of this is trading Nolan Arenado? It really is, because that opens up another infield spot for either Gorman or Saggesi.
Yeah.
Because Brendan Donovan, if he's playing second base or outfield, because that's kind of what he was doing to start the season, then you're not going to... Donnie Baseball's not leaving the lineup. He's just not. Especially the way he's hitting and all that stuff. Like, no chance. But Saggesi's playing really well, too. But there's no path for Saggesi to play on your big league roster unless one of two things happen. You trade Nolan Arenado, because that opens up an infield spot, or you trade Nolan Gorman or send him to Memphis. That's the only path for Saggesi to stay here, unless they send Ciani down and they go without an extra outfielder thinking that Brendan Donovan can play the outfield, because you got Victor Scott as your center fielder. You don't really need Michael Ciani.
Right.
So maybe that's the path, too. And then you get to keep Saggesi on your roster. Where he goes, I don't know.
That's tough.
Maybe he goes second base, and Gorman goes to DH, like you already talked about.
I don't blame you. I agree with you. Like, Ciani would be the one you could send out, and you don't really lose too much outside of a fourth outfielder, but you kind of already have that.
It's not like you're getting...
But CD, I don't see the path for consistent at-bats for Saggesi. That's, I think, the issue.
It's probably not going to be consistent at-bats, but I don't think if you're going to have both of those guys on your... What are you sending them down for? What are you gaining?
Saggesi?
Yeah, what are you gaining from that? Okay,
playing time.
Well...
consistent playing time.
For me, I mean, I want the roster that is going to be the best roster in case something happens. In case I need to... who's your right-handed bat off of the bench other than Luke and Baker?
It is Luke and Baker.
Yeah. That's it. You're left-handed dominant, and if you don't have another guy, I just think you need that person. And I think it's a simple fix. You send Ciani down because, as you said, Brendan Donovan can play in the outfield. If you want to do this whole, we got to take a guy out, we got to take Jordan Walker out in right field because late game situations, okay, put Donnie in right field, put Donnie in left field, put Lars in right field, and you're covered. And so for me, having Saggesi on the roster, I think it just helps and eliminates some of those issues. Now, you are crowded because once Mason Wynn comes back, somebody got to sit.
Yeah.
But you'll have to figure that out. I'm not sending the guy down that is playing. Maybe Nolan Gorman is the one that's sitting. I mean, Thomas Saggesi is he's had more at bats. He's played in more games. I know Nolan Gorman was hurt, but he's hitting the ball really well. He's batting .455 and OPS of 1,000. One. So why would you want to send that guy down and have someone else in his place?
Yeah, the answer is just there's not enough consistent there's not enough consistent at bats for Thomas Saggese. In my opinion.
Find them.
Or you could trade Brendan Donovan.
Yeah, you could.
I'm not saying I want that.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of player that Saggese is. This actually is lending itself to a problem we had about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
When we had Tommy Edman and Brendan Donovan on the same team.
Right.
You essentially had the same player. Now, Tommy Edman and Donovan can play the outfield. I don't know if Saggese can, but he can play second, short, and third.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got guys that are blocking him, though.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals got to evaluate short-term and long-term what's best for the club.
Well, you hit it. It's Arenado.
I know.
Arenado nixing the deal to Houston. And look, there's been benefits to him staying. We've talked about this.
Why is there no trades in baseball like at this time of year? Because like Nolan Arenado's had a pretty good start.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not smashing the ball, but he's hitting pretty good. Like hitting pretty good for average, getting on base.
Yeah.
Like, and he's playing really well defensively.
Because I think teams, baseball
don't know
teams,
where they are.
Yeah,
or what they have.
Baseball teams are just they're built to think about the long haul.
Who's to say that he would want to leave? Season started.
You keep asking
he
a guy,
likes to be here.
You keep asking a guy enough. Eventually, he's going to say, "Yeah, I'm sick of you asking me. Get me out of here. You obviously don't want me."
I thought you were going to say something else, but asking.
No.
I'm sick of you.
Yeah. No, I wasn't going there.
Okay.
I don't think that way.
Well, you definitely think that way.
That's the kind of language I use.
I'm just glad you didn't.
It's not the kind of language you use.
No, Carey.
I've never heard it. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've heard it when. Never mind. Go ahead.
I don't think the question is whether or not Thomas Saggese should be up. It's, do you really want to use him as a bench bat? I don't think that's smart at this point.
Well, the kid's got to play.
Yeah.
How old is he? Do we know?
23.
He's 20. Yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, he's a youngin'.
He's got to get at bats.
Luken Baker is perfect for a bench bat. That's the perfect bench bat.
Yeah, Luken Baker is the poster child for DH/bench bat/backup first baseman.
Exactly.
I mean, he's perfect.
He is a clear bench player. You're not worried about him getting at bats consistently.
So the issue is the Cardinals are eventually going to have to move on from somebody because J.J. Weatherholt is going to be here when, right? Like you're running into a spot where the entire infield is going to be crowded. Mm-hmm. Donnie, Nolan, Gorman, Nolan Arenado if he's still here, Mason Wynn, Saggese, Weatherholt. That's 6 guys for 3 positions.
Assuming they all pan out, yeah.
5 of them have, essentially. We just don't know about J.J. Weatherholt, but he...
Do you see the week he's having?
He looks like he might be one of those ones. So you're basically saying you got 6 guys for 3 positions. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to have to get traded. You're going to have to move on from somebody. It's going to be... I don't know if it's Nolan Arenado. I don't know who that player is, but
yeah.
I just think at some point you got too many spots, too many players. Seats taken. Mm-hmm. That's what Nolan Arenado says every time he goes out. Seats taken, Nolan. Gorman. I want to play seats taken. Get the hell out of here.
So Donovan's going to start saying to Nolan Gorman at second base. All right, it's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. We'll talk more Blues coming up next with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues here on 101 ESPN.
Hey, Chris Kerber with you here, and let's just talk about your home for a minute. When you walk into your house, is it comfortable? Is it the temperature that you want? Look, you can do it all right. You can get Classic Air Care over to the house. You can get your maintenance done. You can be replacing that air filter, which is one of the most important things to do to keep that air conditioner up and running all summer. But if something does go kaput, if something stops firing right, maybe you're starting to lose Freon, maybe there's just something wrong with the fan, Classic Air Care are the people to call. They will come to your house. Look, you can book an appointment online. You can call their phone number, which is right at the top of their website at classicaircare.com. You can talk to a live person, and especially in those situations over the weekend, they've got a 24-hour hotline available. They have next-day appointments available as well because they know emergency situations exist. That's how you know that they take care of people. They know the situation. They can come in and fix it. That's what you want. So if something goes wrong with your air conditioner, make sure you're calling the folks at Classic Air Care. They've got experienced technicians, some with over 40 years of experience. They can work on any machine. So make sure that it is Classic Air Care that is front and center if something isn't right when it comes to your AC unit in your house. That's what we do here at the Kerber household, so you can trust that you'll get the same quality service for you. Log online, book an appointment at classicaircare.com.
Fastline on 101 ESPN on Saturday afternoon. We'll have the pregame show for you for the Blues and Jets starting at 4 o'clock. The puck will drop in Winnipeg for game one of the first round matchup between the Blues and the Jets at 5 o'clock. And the man who you will hear on the Blues radio network, as you often do, the play-by-play man of your St. Louis Blues, Chris Kerber, joins us via the Callier and Thompson phone line. Kerbs, how are you?
Anthony, doing well today. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're doing absolutely great. For you, Kerbs, I know you've called several of the, playoff clinching moments, but I'm sure it never gets old. What was going through your mind as you observed Enterprise Center the other night as the fans got rowdy as the Blues made the playoffs?
I love the atmosphere. I love the intensity of that day leading up to the game. I didn't think it's a terrific matchup. Winnipeg's had the Blues number a couple of times this year, not Winnipeg, Utah
yeah,
had
gotcha.
the Blues numbers a couple of times this year. And frankly, over the last couple of years, they've been a difficult matchup for the Blues. So, I think that the crowd knew that. And the beginning of the game, you felt some of that tense energy. And then when Braden Shen scored, it's like it all got released and everybody said, okay, let's go. And it was a pretty awesome atmosphere the rest of the way through.
Curtis, when you're watching the Blues team right now, especially the last game heading into the playoffs, what would indicate that there is an upset that could happen against Winnipeg? Because most of the people who are not in St. Louis, they're looking at the series, and I said it earlier on paper, like, good on St. Louis. They made the playoffs, but, man, that Jets team's really good. So what's the path to success for the Blues then?
Well, look, the Jets team is really good. If you play 82 games and you've got the best record out of 32 teams, you're a pretty doggone good hockey team. But at the same time, I like the way the Blues are playing down the stretch. I love what they said, Jamie, after the Seattle game. Cole Parayko, a couple guys were talking about, we got back to that game in the third period of that Seattle game, and then I like what they brought throughout the whole game against the Utah Hockey Club. But here's the thing. Whether you are the number one team or you're the number 8 team in a conference to make the playoffs, everything is at zeros. You fill out your scorebook as a broadcaster, and it all starts with a bunch of zeros, which means it starts anew. And here's the deal. You don't have to win 4 in a row. You just have to win 4 out of 7. You can be a total of 4 games over 500 for an entire playoff series, an entire playoff season, and win a Stanley Cup. And the Blues kind of proved that in 2019. So have some other teams. I like the attitude of this team. Look, I like the veteran aspect of this team right now going into this series as well. I think the Blues have some more battle-tested players at times than even the Winnipeg Jets do, right? The other thing, and I believe there's something to this. I believe the players and the team themselves put pressure on them. But let's face it, right? If there's one team that's coming in a little looser than the other team, it's going to be the St. Louis Blues. The Winnipeg Jets know what they're up against. They know who they're up against. They know exactly what the Blues are capable of. Because even in that last meeting when Winnipeg snapped that winning streak of the Blues, man, that was a close game going into the third period here. They don't have Nikolai Ehlers, which I think is a huge factor. We don't have Dylan Holloway either. But I just like some of the matchups of this series that, yes, is the Winnipeg Jets favored? Sure. Should they be? Well, yeah, based on the regular season. But, man, have we seen President's Trophy winning teams toppled before, and I hope we see it again.
Curbs, this season has been full of ups and downs. It started in the offseason with the offer sheets. You had a coach get fired. Aside from 2019, where would you rank this season in terms of just how surprised you were with this team?
You know what? I talked to Braden Shen about this morning for a little bit after the practice. I don't know about where I rank them in terms of surprised by this team, because I think even more surprising, to be honest with you, look, the 2019 run was magical and special, but that was a good hockey team that hadn't found their way in the first half. Fans remember the 2009 run. Now, that was a surprise, getting that 2009 team into the playoffs and as high as the sixth seed when by the time the playoffs start. Chris Mason's second half of the season was every bit as good as Jordan Binnington's was. From a regular season second half there. But what I was talking to Braden about was that there was something about this team that, man, it didn't matter if you're talking to him at the end of October, the middle of November, even before the coaching change. Yeah, there were struggles. There was some frustration. But what you didn't sense was fracturing. You didn't sense what you saw happen with the New York Rangers this year. You didn't sense or see what you saw happen with the Vancouver Canucks and the drama this year. And this is still coming from a team where, let's face it, Brandon Saad not playing well, eventually being a healthy scratch. What are you doing with Scott Perunovich? Other guys, you get the early injury to Holloway, to Broberg. Like, there was just enough going on there that it could have. And they didn't let it do it. And I think this is one of the coolest things. Braden Shen said this morning, guys, that after the Blues made the trade for Cam Fowler, he said he grabbed some of the guys in the room and he says, okay, they put a coach in here. They brought us a defenseman at the time with Nick Leddy, and because guys were logging a ton of minutes at that point in time, right? And Braden Shen said from that point on, he goes, his approach is from a leadership standpoint, a team standpoint, it's on us now to make this work. And they did. And I think it goes back to something Ken Hitchcock talked a lot about as they were trying to turn the Oshis, the Backuses, the Deans and Berglunds and Perrons and stuff into winners. And he said, we'll be ready to go when the team takes over the room. And I think when Braden Shen said, hey, this is on us now, they've given us the tools, that's clearly when the team took over the room.
Chris Kerber joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerbs, and this may be as simple as Jim Montgomery, so I'm tempted to just take Montgomery off the board for you. But if this doesn't happen, we're not here with the Blues. What is this?
Oh, geez, I've been thinking about this one, Anthony. Yeah, I think if Montgomery's an easy one for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it happens without the Fowler trade. And then I don't think, let's say the Fowler trade happens, I don't think it happens without the offer sheet signings.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think it happens without the signing of Ryan Suter and Reddick Foxa trade. I mean, this is kind of the crazy thing about this one is you've got a lot that I'd sit there and honestly, I think you had to say a bunch of them are tied for first. It truly is and even all that, it still took the game 82, right? To get to that point. So I don't know that I could single one thing out that says if this doesn't happen because I don't think they are where they are without any one of those things individually.
Yeah.
Curbs, Jimmy Snuggerud's got 7 games under his belt now, 4 points in those 7 games. And It's not like the young man has been put in a position of just playing some easy games. He was thrust into the lineup at probably the most important time of the season where the Blues are trying to clinch a playoff spot. You know, what have you seen from Jimmy Snuggerud that has surprised you about the young man?
I don't know, Jamie, that anything has surprised me based on the scouting reports and stuff that we saw. But I will tell you is that, you know, and for example, in talking to Alexander Steen about him, he was talking about just you could see the calmness and the hockey IQ. Like you could see that there are certain moments that he's just kind of comfortable in. You know, maybe more mature in that sense than maybe a Dalibor Dvorsky is at the moment. And Jimmy, of course, is a couple years older. So, yeah, that matters. But I was thinking about this earlier when you're thinking of the fact that Dylan Holloway is out. And, look, I don't anticipate Dylan Holloway coming back anytime soon. So the reality for me is it's the Jimmy Snuggerud era. It has begun now in full force. And it's not a question of, hey, where can we play him? Do we consider using him on the third line? You know, do you maybe make a change there? What do you do? Nope. With 81 out, 21 is in. And, man, as he looked really good. Alex was referring to his play away from the puck, his positioning. There's still a couple, obviously, you've seen some moments where he might be on the wrong side, but that in and of itself is going to happen. But he's found some instant chemistry as offensive guys tend to do. And, again, talk about all those other, you know, different moves and how things go. You know, if play this one through in your mind, Jamie. If Jimmy Snuggerud turns pro at the end of last season instead of when he did now, right? He's basically coming in and he's battling for ice time with Dylan Holloway and Zach Bolduc. Well, look at the seasons that Holloway and Bolduc have had. And I think that absolutely changes the trajectory and how you look at the top six of the St. Louis Blues, right? And so I think it makes it a little bit more important for Jimmy Snuggerud to come in and play really good hockey to make his mark in that top six, because it looks like Bolduc and Holloway have started to secure some of those spots. And this is a great problem for the Blues to have. But now he's going to get a chance with Holloway out to really show it, and I think we're going to get a chance to see what the future depth of this team really looks like.
Kerbs, have a great trip to Winnipeg. We'll certainly be listening and being tuned in on Saturday when the Blues and Jets get this thing going.
You got it, guys. Get ready for some playoff hockey on Saturday. Love it.
That's right. We're fired up for it. Thanks, Kerbs.
Okay, guys. Have a great week.
You too. Thanks. That's Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues here on 101 at ESPN. There's a lot of chatter in the Snake Pit about the Fowler acquisition, and Kerbs just mentioned it a couple of times. Yeah, you kind of, with all the attention to Holloway and Broberg, I mean, those moves being highlighted, and then, of course, the emergence of Zach Bolduc and now Jimmy Snuggerud. We've talked about Cam Fowler, but we probably haven't even scratched the surface of what Fowler has meant to this team. Fowler
and Suter.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you be without Suter?
Dead.
I mean, seriously, look at the start of the season when Letty got hurt and Broberg was hurt. He was playing 22, 23 minutes a game. Yeah. Too much.
Right.
I get it, too much, but was playing well.
Mm-hmm.
And then he single-handedly, along with the coaching staff, tutored Tyler Tucker to what he is now. Always talking to Tucker. Tucker always asking him little questions. They joke around. They got a great relationship. That was instrumental in Tucker's, I guess, development or welcoming to the scene right now. You're like, man, he's an everyday player.
Sure.
And Cam Fowler, he's a number one defenseman. And you were able to put him with Colton Parayko, another number one defenseman. And then when Parayko went down, Letty, this is why you have guys like Nick Letty, slides in, great skater, good defender. He plays alongside Fowler. The key to me is Fowler. He's played with everybody. He's been with Falk. He's been with Tucker. He's been with Parayko.
Mm-hmm.
It's been unbelievable acquisition by Doug Armstrong.
No doubt. All right, it's Fast on 101 at ESPN. NFL 4 Downs is next. We've got a draft edition, some conversation about the quarterbacks, and the one main running back. Will Ashton Genty go in the top 10? That's next on 101 ESPN. Underdog just became one of the best places to make entries during the basketball playoffs with their Extender promo. With the Extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boost each round of the playoffs. So how this works is you start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost, and then you continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series goes, the bigger the boost, the bigger the payoffs for you. You can play Underdog Fantasy now in Missouri. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog, and you can play for as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money just by playing Underdog. And just with your NBA, NHL, golf, NASCAR, football knowledge, just choose some certain players that you like to go higher or lower than their stats. You might have a hunch in one of the NBA games coming up that a certain player is going to go lower on assist or higher on points. However you want to build your pick status there, you can. And it's all there at Underdog. And again, you get to play for as little as $1, and you can win a bunch of money as well. This extender program is awesome at Underdog. Just download the Underdog app, sign up with my promo code Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, that promo code is Anthony at Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncbgambling.org.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We just got done talking with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network. The Blues will take on the Jets in Game 1, Round 1. Saturday is Game 1. Pregame starts at 4 o'clock. Puck drop is at 5. If you missed that conversation with Kerbs, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. It's all brought to you by the Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Head to the podcast page, and that is all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. You can find all of our interviews and full shows there. The Cardinals take on the Mets tonight. Andre Palante on the mound for the Redbirds. First pitch is at 6:10. Coming up next, NFL 4 Downs Draft Edition. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Fastline on 101 ESPN, NFL 4 Downs Draft Edition. It's fired up, Marsh.
First down.
Jalen Milroe, Alabama quarterback, was invited to the draft, but most draft boards have him as, either the third quarterback or even the fifth quarterback, somewhere in that range. And really, if you're the third or fifth quarterback taken in this year's draft, it's highly unlikely you're going to be in the first round. Do you think it's, Carey, you think it's a reach for teams to take him in the first round?
I've saw something earlier that he might be the second quarterback taken off the board. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, he has an ability to obviously throw the ball. He's that dual threat quarterback that a lot of these teams are going to. But I would be surprised and shocked. But here's the thing about it. He got invited to the draft. Like, the NFL usually, for the most part, only invites the players that are going to be guaranteed first-round picks. So, in my opinion, that means 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 teams told them, hey, if he's available, we're going to take him. So that he was invited. That would lead me to believe that he is going to go in the first round, because why would the NFL extend that invitation if he's not going to be a first-round quarterback?
How many guys get invited that don't get picked?
It's only a handful.
It's only
yeah. They're pretty accurate with
it. Like Geno Smith
was stink.
Was Geno Smith at the draft that year, or did he just show up?
I don't remember Geno Smith.
He went second round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys
it happens, but it's
like Brady
few
Quinn.
And far between where a guy is supposed to go. Like Aaron Rodgers sitting there until pick 24 was a surprise, is a shock, and that he was like the last person in the green room still waiting to be picked, I believe. So it's very rare. I think it's 15 to 18 people, maybe 20 at the most that are there. Like Shedeur and Travis Hunter won't be at the draft, from what I've read and what I've heard. And they are guaranteed. Well, Travis Hunter is definitely a first.
Why would they not be there?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Did I ruin? Is that on the list?
Yeah, you both ruined it. Yeah.
Oh,
you both ruined it.
I just followed Carey's lead.
Nah, you guys are.
I didn't ruin the.
No, you're right. You're potentially ruined.
Here's how we fix Anthony's problem. Go ahead, Marshall.
Second down.
Anthony?
What's going on with Shedeur Sanders? Why is he such a polarizing pre-draft?
Why is he Aaron
prospect?
Rodgers all of a sudden?
Yeah. Now, I don't understand. Now, Travis Hunter, he's guaranteed to go in the top 5. He's probably going to be the second pick to
Why would he
Cleveland.
not be at the draft?
I don't know. But Shedeur, I don't have a good read on it. Is he not going because he doesn't think he'll be a first-round selection? Or is he just not going because him and Travis Hunter are going to have a draft party?
That's probably what it is. Like Baker Mayfield didn't go to the draft. He was in his like Brett Favre look.
Right.
Which was really cool. I don't know if Shedeur isn't going. I thought I read that. I mean, I don't know if Travis isn't going. I thought I read that Shedeur isn't going. But I think sometimes those
Shedeur
guys
isn't. I know I've read that. I didn't see that about
I don't know if Travis Hunter. I might have just lumped those two guys together. But Shedeur probably, he is who he is. Like, do you expect a young man who grew up in the same house with one of the greatest athletes to ever play the game, who could walk it and talk it, literally was able to do multiple things, playing multiple sports at a high level, sell shoes, make a rap album. Like, this man, Deion Sanders, was everything in the 90s. You know, you're still a Falcons fan because of damn Deion.
That son of a...
You know?
He did this to you.
He did this to me, yeah.
But he was a guy... So you telling me that a young man that grows up with a man with all of that bravado isn't going to have some of that, and he can ball as well? Like, why would you can't we were talking about this earlier about Jim Montgomery, letting people be who they are. Not just on the field, on the ice, but if that person is weird or different or not fitting into a box, you let that person be who he is. As long as he shows up on Sunday and plays at a high level, I don't give a damn to an extent. You know, as long as you're not out here doing stuff illegal, you're just being you. Man, I don't care about it. And I think it's weird that people do get so concerned or caught up with how they carry themselves with confidence. Because you should have confidence, especially playing that position, and if you're going to play in the NFL.
Right. I think whoever gets Shedeur Sanders is going to get a player. Like whether it's the Saints at 9 because of the whole Derek Carr situation now, or your Steelers, you know, in the 20s, or maybe they trade up because they see the opportunity. I think they're going to get a player. This is somebody that, despite being raised in the Sanders household, this is somebody that had to battle through adversity on the field. A lot of times the first year Colorado's roster wasn't very good. This past year was a lot better, but it still wasn't, the upper echelon of college football. Offensive line, I mean, he took a bunch of hits. He was under siege sometimes. I mean, this is somebody that he had some skill position players, but it wasn't always clean for Shedeur.
And the thing I like about Shedeur the most, I tell people this, there are only a couple of sports where there's no coaching for this, right? Football, boxing, MMA, like a guy punches you or hits you in the face. You have a decision to make. I'm going to lay here and I don't want to do this anymore. Or I'm going to get the fast lane up and potentially get hit in the face like that again. I've seen Shedeur Sanders get absolutely smoked because you talked about that offensive line that didn't protect as well as they smoked. And if you get hit that flush in the face and decide to get up, then you can play with me any day. You can be my teammate. We can roll.
Marshy.
Third down.
Is Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty a lock to go into the top 10?
Oh, top 10. I thought you were going to say first round. I was like, yes, of course.
First round, yeah, top 10.
Top 10, yeah, I think so. I do. And listening to a bunch of people talk about the NFL draft and thumbing through it, and I'm not going to pretend to know every player. I haven't seen their film, as they'd say in the business, Anthony. But I do know that it's not a real strong draft, especially at the quarterback position. So if it's not going to be a strong draft at the quarterback position, teams are going to need offensive pieces to their club. Running backs, man.
Yeah.
Right now, it's copycat league. Right now, everybody's looking at what Saquon Barkley did. And the Eagles winning the championship. They're like, man, we need one of those. We need one of those. And if this guy is the guy that they deem to be that, somebody's going to step up in the top 10 and make that pick.
I think there's two options in the top 10. One, the Raiders, and that's where a lot of people project Jeanty to go. The other one is the Bears. Because Ben Johnson was obviously in Detroit when they had the dual running backs. Yeah. One of them was Jahmyr Gibbs.
That worked out pretty good there.
Selected in the top 15. I think he was picked like 11 maybe.
Yeah.
So if Ben Johnson can get that addition for his offense, the thought is that maybe if Jeanty falls, he'll get to the Bears at time.
I see one here that says maybe the New York Jets, which is a shock.
The New York Football Jets?
Yeah.
Who already have Breece Hall?
Yeah. Okay. Pairing them with Breece Hall.
Well, maybe.
Who wrote that?
And the quarterback that they just got, former Steeler.
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
This is from Mark Ross. This came out yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, no, today. 9:16 a.m.
That doesn't make any damn sense.
Fourth down.
Travis Hunter says that he wants to play on both sides of the ball. Giants say they would play him on both sides. How realistic is this, though?
Carey, I'll defer.
Oh, man. Listen, I can be honest, man. Like, there are times, and I played a different position. I didn't play corner. I didn't play receiver. I don't know what those guys' Mondays look like. I don't. I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you my Monday. And it looked like I did not want to move out of the bed. My Monday was brutal. Like, my Mondays were a thing that I wouldn't even want to wish on anybody. I would get up and be like, God, everything I have hurts. Like, I don't want to think, let alone get up and move. And so, granted, and that's playing 60 plays, 65, special teams included. You're looking at over 100 plays in the NFL for 17 weeks. I don't want to be the one that, because he's done it. No, they said he couldn't do it. Oh, he's doing it at Jackson. That's why he's playing lower competition.
Yeah.
He did it at Colorado, which is better competition. And so I don't want to be the one that tells him or says that he's unable to do it. I can just speak from my personal experience on my Mondays. Man, God bless you.
I think he'll be in certain packages, but I can't see him playing both sides the entire time.
So
I just can't.
I look at it from a standpoint of the NFL is the best league in the world. It is. You have some of the best athletes that play wide receiver, whether it's speed and size. That's a tough position to play, the corner. It is. I mean, just as far as being exhausted at the end of a game,
and you have to tackle Derrick Henry.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's just one side of it. Now, the other side of it, he's lining up also against the best cornerbacks in the world every single day. And he's going to have to block. I just don't see it being something he can do on a regular basis. Like you said, is there certain packages, certain times of the game maybe that make sense? But I just think the overall wear and tear and just the stress of having to play against the game's best players in both positions, I think it's going to be too much.
I mean, just thinking about it, like we were taught, you don't block corners. Like receivers don't block corners. You let the running back handle it. So Derrick Henry running at you, good luck. Over and over and over again. You normally don't block corners. You go block the safety. On the opposite side, you're catching a pass. You got 280-pound men, 260-pound men. Everybody, once the ball is in your hands, all eyes are on you. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be tough, but I wouldn't knock him and say he couldn't do it. It's going to be fun to watch.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have Prove Me Wrong next, so if you want to send in a Prove Me Wrong statement, send it to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. So this is a statement that you want to make that you feel as though me, Jamie, and Carey either can't prove wrong or you'd like to see us prove it wrong. And Judge Andrew Marsh is here, so he'll determine whether or not we correctly proved said statement wrong. Prove Me Wrong next on 101 ESPN.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
Time to play Prove Me Wrong here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. This is where you can state a sport. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be sports, but just make a statement that you want Kerry Davis, Jamie Rivers, or me to prove wrong. And the judge is Andrew Marsh. Judge, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good. Good to see you again.
Thank you. See you every day, except for on Saturdays and Sundays.
That's true.
Which, we try to see you, but you avoid us.
I actually saw Marsh and Carey on a Saturday night not that long ago. We went to trivia.
We did.
You were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And you never showed up.
I believe I was probably out of town or Blues game, maybe?
Can't remember.
In fact, if I remember correctly, Carey, hang on. If I remember correctly, because Carey won't lie, I never got invited. Remember? Because he's like, well, I just assumed you're working the Blues game. Don't you remember that?
You were invited.
No, that's a lie.
Conversation.
That's a friggin' lie.
That's a different trivia.
That's whatever. Whatever. You didn't invite me.
You weren't there, Jamie.
I know. I could have been, though.
It was the Avalanche game.
Yeah.
I will say that weekend actually really screwed me up because I didn't know what day it was, like come Sunday.
Yeah.
Because we were with each other, so I just assumed that
Friday.
it was a weekday.
Marsh thought he had 2 extra days.
Yeah.
All right, Judge. Go for it.
From the 636, prove me wrong. The Blues make the playoffs if Bannister was still head coach.
Okay, so let's go back here for a second. And we're not going to take too much time doubting the abilities of Drew Bannister, okay? It's a moot point at this juncture. But I will say this. You were, I think you were 9-12 when Bannister was the head coach. You had not put together a 3-game win streak. The team was inconsistent. Zach Bolduc wasn't playing. You couldn't find ice time for certain other young players. Brandon Saad didn't look good. Like, it just was not headed in the right direction at all. And so I can't imagine that all of a sudden you would have sprinkled some fairy dust on the whole thing and you then become what you ended up being with the current direction that it was headed in. It didn't seem like the players were on the same page as Drew Bannister. Overall, I think that Drew Bannister is an excellent coach. I just think that it was a tough first gig for him. So when you fast forward and look at what Monty's been able to do, and then you hear about all the little things that Monty's doing in the players, the way they talk about things and capturing the locker room and all this stuff, I just never heard any of that under Drew Bannister. So I don't think we have the same outcome.
Well said. Next one comes from FedEx Colton. Prove me wrong. The Cardinals are showing that batting average still plays in Major League Baseball.
Nobody cares about batting average. You talk about bat. They care about launch angles and OPS and OBS and all the other BS you want to talk about, but not the average.
I haven't seen that one.
Nobody cares about it. Everybody cares about, are you hitting the ball hard? What's your exit velo? Huh? No, you do Brendan Donovan leading the damn league in hits and third in batting average. Nobody outside of St. Louis is talking about it. You know why? Because they don't give a damn. You know who was a great hitter that had a great average? Tony Gwynn. How many times you hear his name brought up? What? You don't.
Fair amount.
I mean, the stadium's name. Yeah, the stadium's literally on Tony Gwynn.
You were going so well.
I was. You guys.
You can't go Tony Gwynn.
I wasn't able to finish.
That's frustrating.
It's very frustrating when you can't finish,
especially when your buddy doesn't allow you to.
Why would you jump in?
You did.
What are you doing?
You totally blocked him for finishing.
I was going somewhere, guys.
Kerry, you did go somewhere. You're a Super Bowl champ.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Wish he understood that. Wish he gave a damn about that. Huh?
Kerry, you want another one?
He's mad that Killian showed him up and went 3 for 4 yesterday.
I was proud of him. Here's the best part, real quick. I'll tell this real quick. He was playing the infield, too. It was right at the end of the game.
What position?
I think he was playing second base. He was playing second.
That's great.
Now, he's a lefty, though. It's hard to play shortstop as a lefty. But he gets the ball, right? And he fields it. I'm trying to, work on him with, fielding the ground ball stuff. And it can be a little bit of an adventure when you're first grade. He fields the ball, right? And he goes and he hits second base right as the runner was going. Runner was clearly out. And I didn't realize how into it I was.
Yeah, you agree?
Umpire goes, safe. I go, what? I like screamed it. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And then I looked around. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down. It was like so reactionary. I was so ticked.
Anthony's like giving the headset challenge.
We got to challenge this. All of a sudden, I'm not even the coach. I'm in the dugout. I'm like, we got to challenge this right now. Yeah.
I've got it on my iPhone.
I looked at some of the parents. I go, I'm just going to have a seat. I did not.
It's the best.
What?
Are you kidding me? And then after that, they said, seat's taken.
Seat's taken. You're insane. Go ahead. Give Carey another one.
All right, Carey, from the 618, prove me wrong. John Cena deserves to win his 17th world title this weekend at WrestleMania.
No, he's a heel. He's a bad guy. Nobody wants the bad guys to win. You want the good guys to win. Nobody enjoys the bad guys. You know when the Hulkamaniac turned bad, nobody cared about him. Now he's still, by some people, considered bad because of other things. But when you turn heel, nobody wants you to win. People loved The Undertaker when he turned from heel to good guy. Nobody wants the heel to win. No, I can't see that at all, Marshy.
Oh, wow.
I agree.
From Marshy, he's a wrestling guy.
I agree. It's going to be a good weekend, I'll tell you that. It's going to be a great Saturday and Sunday, but specifically
Where is
Saturday.
WrestleMania this year?
It's in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Could have had to.
Honestly, Carey, I don't know if your argument was strong enough. You were kind of talking for batting average.
I wasn't.
Yeah, but you kind of were.
Going in the other direction.
As soon as you said Tony Gwynn,
feel like
I was the Padres Stadium is on Tony Gwynn Avenue.
How great he is, and nobody really mentions him.
That's all we talk about.
All we talk about is home runs, but I didn't get
the counter argument to home runs is always Tony Gwynn. So we talk about him all the time.
You're not helping either.
I'm just trying to help
It was just kind of a weaker.
I'm trying to help you get better.
You guys want one more?
I mean, if you want to make partner at some point.
Oh, God. My damn name is already on the door.
It's last.
I actually say him first.
All right, from the 636, prove me wrong. Jobu is not the reason for the Blues' success.
Okay, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? When did Jobu show up? Oh, right around the time that they started to, all buy in.
All of a sudden, a different team. A whole different team. Overnight.
And let me remind you that our guy, Jamie Rivers, decided to wear the old Jobu t-shirt.
Pissed him off.
Ticked off Jobu. Now, at first, Jamie says, guys, it's not my fault. As soon as they started to lose, what did Jamie do?
He rectified it.
He gave Jobu a little rum shot. Yeah. He apologized. He said, hey, that's on me. Why don't we go ahead and just square this thing up right now, and let's get back to business. The moment he did that, within 24 to 48 hours, the Blues clinched a playoff spot after losing 3 straight. You tell me it's not old Jobu?
Within 24 hours, the Blues were winning 4-0 after the first period.
Boom. Roasted.
Yes.
His eyes were glowing yellow.
Exactly.
Looked like the Green Goblin,
I
Anthony.
needed some Visine.
Nice.
Jobu's eyes.
Jobu's
yeah, no,
eyes.
no. Yeah, not you, Jobu.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She's talking about me in the video.
No.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Gauntlet, next.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
.406, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Eric. What's up, Eric?
Fellas, how we doing?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing. You got the whole show here today. Would you like Marsh, Kerry, Jamie, or me in round 1?
I'll go with Jamie.
Jamie Rivers.
Wow.
You've been getting selected early and often this week.
I like it.
I like it. All right, so Jamie's going to head off to the Cone of
Good luck,
Silence.
Eric.
Perfect.
Yep.
He said thanks.
He didn't even say thanks.
He just said perfect.
Yeah, he just said perfect. Good.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pumped. It's my first time on. I'm excited to be here, and let's go Blues, baby.
There you go.
Yes.
Well said, Eric. All right, so Jamie's now in the Cone of Silence. Go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Hey, Marsh, spin that wheel.
All right, Eric, what are we hoping for, kid?
I'm hoping football.
Hoping for some football. Let's see if the wheel obliges.
Well, it is not hockey.
Well, that's good.
However, it is not football. It is baseball today.
All right. I can do it.
Very, very good.
Baseball. All right, so you're going to get 4 baseball-related questions. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those are worth 1 point. Thank you, Marsh. Are you ready, Eric?
Yes, sir.
Over the weekend, Boston ace Garrett Crochet lost his no-hit bid against the White Sox when Chase Meredith singled with 1 out in the 8th inning. Who was the last Red Sox pitcher to throw a no-hitter?
I'm going to need the options.
John Lester, Roger Clemens, Tim Wakefield.
I'll go Lester.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question number 2. The Houston Astros made the ALCS in 7 straight seasons from 2017 to 2023. The second longest CS streak of all time, behind who?
I feel like it could be like one of those old time, like 1800s type thing. You know what? I'm just going to go in. Wait, did you say it has to be in the AL?
It's just a CS.
Okay. I'll go the Yankees.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question number 3. Just 3 rookies in postseason history have homered in extra innings. Jeremy Pena, Chris Burke, and who else?
I'll take the options.
Options are Edgar Renteria, Miguel Cabrera, or Oscar Gonzalez.
I'll go Cabrera.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
All right, Eric, final question. Can you tell us the most recent year in which the Cardinals won 100 games?
Ooh. Say 20. I'll say 2016.
Final answer?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let's welcome back Jamie Rivers from the Cone of Silence. Eric, how you feeling?
Not great. Not great at all.
Okay.
But,
I'm sorry to hear you disappointed.
It's okay.
We'll see how Jamie does here. So, Jamie, welcome back in from the Cone of Silence right now.
Yeah.
Jamie?
What's up, Doug?
Your category today is baseball.
I love baseball.
Pack a lunch.
Here we go.
Yep.
Question 1. Over the weekend, Boston ace Garrett Crochet lost his no-hit bid against the White Sox when Chase Meredith singled with 1 out in the 8th inning. Who was the last Red Sox pitcher to throw a no-no?
I was just talking about this in the Cone of Silence with Mike Ryder. But let's narrow it down. Give me the option, please.
Sure, yeah. John Lester.
Yep.
Roger Clemens. Tim Wakefield.
Yeah, so those are some really good pitchers. I think that most recently, though, it would have had to have been John Lester. It's just my math in my head working. Yeah, John Lester. Final answer, please.
Question number 2. The Houston, excuse me, get choked up. Speaking about this, the Houston Astros made the ALCS in 7 straight seasons from 2017 to 2023. The second longest CS streak of all time behind who?
Okay. Can I hear that again, please? Sorry.
The Houston Astros made the ALCS in 7 straight seasons from 2017 to 2023. The second longest CS streak of all time behind who?
Yeah. Options, please.
Is it the Braves, the Yankees, or the Phillies?
So the ALCS or just the CS?
CS.
Okay, I'll go with the Braves, please. That's A, right?
Is that option A?
Yeah. That's what you
Braves,
said, right?
Yankees,
First?
Phillies.
Okay, Braves, please. Final answer.
Question number
Quite a run
3.
there for a while.
Just 3 rookies in postseason history have homered in extra innings. Jeremy Pena, Chris Burke, and who else?
Jeremy Pena, Chris Burke, and, man. I think that guy's name was Options, please.
Options are Edgar Renteria, Miguel Cabrera, or Oscar Gonzalez.
Okay, so Miguel Cabrera, Edgar Renteria, and Oscar Gonzalez? Oscar Gonzalez seems like the outlier here, as I know who Edgar Renteria is. Yeah. Oscar Gonzalez, please. Final answer.
Final question, Jamie. Can you tell us the most recent year in which the Cardinals won 100 games?
No, I can't.
Okay, I'll just give you a 0 then.
No, give me the options, please.
Okay. 2016, 2015, 2017. 2015, 2016, 2017.
Well, okay, so wait. What is it?
2015,
Yeah.
2016, 2017.
– 2016 was a pretty good year. 2015 sounds... I don't think it's 2017. So for me, it's 16 or 15. I'll go 2015.
Final answer?
Yeah. Yeah, final answer.
All right, let's go over these.
I don't know if I like baseball so much anymore.
Over the weekend, Boston ace Garrett Crochet lost his no-hit bid against the White Sox when Chase Meredith singled with 1 out in the 8th inning. Who was the last Red Sox pitcher to throw a no-no? Eric said John Lester. Jamie said John Lester. Correct answer is
John Lester.
You both needed the options. 1-1 tie. The Houston Astros made the ALCS in 7 straight seasons from 2017 to 2023. The second longest CS streak of all time behind only Eric said the Yankees. Jamie said the Braves. Correct answer is
It's the Atlanta Braves.
Jamie's up 2-0 on
No, 2-1.
2-1. Excuse me.
Well, you messed up yesterday. I don't know what happened again today.
2-1. I did mess up yesterday. You're right. 2-1. Just 3 rookies in postseason history have homered in extra innings. Jeremy Pena, Chris Burke, and who else? Jamie took the outlier, Oscar Gonzalez. Eric took Miguel Cabrera. Correct answer is...
of course, it is Oscar Gonzalez.
The outlier wins.
Anthony Stalter strategy.
Does okay. Jamie is up 3-1. Comes down to this. Can you tell us the most recent year in which the Cardinals won 100 games? Jamie, with the options, said 2015. Eric, without the options, said 2016.
Oh, I was going to say that, too.
If it's 2016, we have a walk-off. If it's 2015 or any other year in ever, Bob, Jamie wins. Eric.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
Jamie wins 4-1. It was 2015. They won 100 games exactly. They won 162. Regular season record, of course. Yeah, Jamie wins 4-1 today. Eric, sorry, man. Appreciate you playing, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It was a nail-biter. But, again, let's go Blues, and thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
No, thanks Eric. Appreciate you, man.
You have a good one, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Nice job, Jamie. Got all 4 of them right. Good work. By the way, the Braves won 8 straight in the 90s.
That's what is the 90s. That's what I said. They had quite a run there.
Yeah, Braves 8 straight in the 90s.
When I first heard the question, I thought it was like the ALCS.
He asked the same thing. He was like,
did.
is it CS or is it ALCS? I like CS.
Yeah.
Championship Series is what that stands for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right. Nice job.
Then when I heard the Braves, I was like, you idiot. You're a 90s guy. Like I did.
That's okay.
Lisa playing along in the Air Comfort Service text line. 2015, she says. Mediocre since.
Wow. Oh, well, Lisa.
They went to the CS in 2019.
So here's what I have to say about Lisa. And I find this puzzling. I really do, because we have met Lisa so many times. She's a friend of the show, friend of ours, for that matter.
Yeah.
Always in an unbelievable mood.
Oh, she's sweet.
Unbelievable. One
Yep.
of the nicest people ever. Kind. We have something that happens in our life. She sends a card, a gift, like whatever.
Awesome. She sent us all gifts.
I just wonder, is the Cardinals her sadness? Because she's not always a lot upset only about the Cardinals.
I don't think the Cardinals is a great question, Jamie. I'm glad you brought
Because
this
she's
to
such
us.
a wonderful person. It's like her sadness has to be the Cardinals.
I don't even know if it's her sadness. I feel like it's her passion and it's her way to.
Yeah, but not a lot of positives.
No.
So I get it, passion, but it'd be like, then she'd be more like Marshy. No offense, Marshy, to where, sky high, the Cardinals are going to win it all, too. They stink. I can't stand the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You get that way, Marshy.
I do.
And listen, we found out a lot about you in the last couple of days, okay?
Blessing
Yes, we
couches.
did.
Carey, you know.
No kidding.
Dude, that was hilarious.
Blues go on a run, I might look like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
You're working
Just
on
saying.
it.
I like it. You know what? I don't even think you meant to do that, but Forrest Gump used to go on a lot of runs.
He did.
Long runs.
He did. And then one day he just stopped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't see the point in
I'm
it.
tired.
Well,
I'm
I'll go
going to stop
home now.
running.
Gonna go home now. Seat's taken, Jamie.
So, anyways, Lisa, we love you. We do. We just don't want the Cardinals to be your sadness. That's all.
She just says she's realistic.
Oh, that's another
Did she
word.
tell Jamie to go fast lane himself, too?
No, not yet.
It's coming. She shouldn't. I said nothing but nice things about her.
I just wonder.
She's
Listen, all I'm saying
negative.
is, Jamie, don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming
When I
through.
leave this station, I'm looking both ways before I cross the street.
Yeah. All right. Should the Cardinals start locking up some of their young players that are doing well? That's next on 101 ESPN.
What? Circus Sports Illinois, the app is now available everywhere, for that matter. Any app store that you're on, you can check it out, and you can also find it on their website. My guy, Derek Stevens, first of all, a huge hockey fan. Huge hockey fan. He is absolutely pumped up for the playoffs, likes the Blues in their series, too. So, anyways, Derek Stevens is the owner of Circa Las Vegas in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he wanted to create the world's largest sportsbook. He did so in his casino. Now, that sportsbook's available right there on your phone, your pad, whatever your tablet is. You download the app, and you'll see that the odds are the best out of any odds that are out there. No matter what your platform is, any of the other apps that you're looking at, compare it to Circa Sports, and they do not match the odds, which means better payouts for you, especially since they've got tight money line splits, great lines on all their futures bets, the player props, the same game parlays, all that stuff that you're talking about, they do it right there on Circa Sports Illinois, the app. So please don't miss out on the action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
It's Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Brendan Donovan is off to a tremendous start, and so is Lars Nootbaar. And that got Kerry Davis thinking about whether or not you maybe avoid the last year of Brendan Donovan's arbitration and lock him up now.
How about, didn't Donnie lose his arbitration?
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's the guy you want to nickel and dime right there.
So I'm looking at this, right? And I'm looking at Brendan Donovan playing as well as he is. Now, this is assuming that this carries out for the entire year. Will he lead the league in hits all year long?
Probably.
I don't know. Will he lead the league in batting average that
most likely
clearly people still care about? Tony Gwynn is one of the names they talk about a lot.
Ooh, sorry. Not his first year of arbitration. This is his first year
of arbitration.
He's got 2 more years
Correct.
of arbitration. My bad.
Yes. Third in batting average in the league right now.
I know.
Better.
And if he's performed, he's 28 years old, right? He's obviously an everyday player for you, whether he's starting in left field, whether he's starting at second base. Do you want to go through an arbitration and have to tell one of your best players why he's not deserving of the contract that he's going to be asking for, when you can lock him up? And I don't think Brendan Donovan, I don't know what the number is for him, right? I don't know if you're saving money by doing it now. I don't know if you're losing money, but you could start to set a precedent for what the expectation is for the guys after him, for the Mason Wynns, for the Jordan Walkers, Nolan Gorman, if that comes about. And you can have a precedent set saying, hey, this is how we handle our business. This is the model we've used in the past. You know Donnie, you've seen what he did for us, and this is what we expect going forward. And now you're not in a position where those guys are becoming free agents, or that number gets so high where you cannot afford them anymore. And you just start setting yourself up in the right way to go forward for this young team, this team that is full of young guys that are eventually, hopefully, put themselves in a position where they can hit a big payday.
So, Carey, I agree with you 100%. I'm going to go
Write that down, Marshy.
It's not often, you're right. In fact, I may have to go over the tape again and make sure that I'm not speaking out of turn there. But I'm going to go one step further. I can't imagine there's one Cardinals fan. I shouldn't say that. I can't imagine there's a lot of Cardinals fans, I got to be careful, that don't like Brendan Donovan as a representative of the team and as a baseball player.
Right.
If you're the Cardinals, why don't you friggin' realize that? Sign this guy. You got 2 more years of ARB, like you said.
Yep.
Give him another 2. So 4-year deal. 4-year extension, modest number. Doesn't seem like Donnie's going to try and break the bank. His arbitration ask at this last hearing was not outlandish. End up losing. I don't know how he lost still.
He's making 2.8.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So whatever the bump is, I'm not going to pretend to know baseball logistics for salaries, but
I got a calculated market value on him.
Okay, go ahead.
This is right now. When
right now,
when he's
though?
raking.
Okay, so we'll taper it a little bit.
It's $20 million a year.
That's what I was thinking.
Brandon Nimmo is making 20.25.
See, I just don't see Donnie Baseball as a $20 million player, though.
4 years, $80 million. You're gonna.
I'm not doing
he's
it.
Not. He's not. I don't think Brendan Donovan is walking away from that, and I don't think that's. I don't think he's walking away from that, and I don't think that that's a number that puts you in a position as the Cardinals to say, "Oh, that's gonna kill us in the future."
Right.
So somewhere 16 to 20 million for me would be a year.
What about 5 years, $74 million?
5 years,
What's that per year,
million.
Marshy? Don't confuse me.
Well, 5 and 25.
You know the math, right?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's 25.
That's what Tommy Edman got from the Dodgers.
That's too much.
Tommy Edman's a World Series champ right now, and he's a NLCS MVP.
Your number's wrong.
My number's wrong.
Yeah. It's like 15 a year. 15, 30.
What'd you say?
It's 15 a year. It's 15 a year.
5, 10, 15.
It's 15 a year.
I've been 125.
15, 30, 45, 60.
Why are we doing math?
What
75.
color was the math group you were in?
I didn't do math, which is why I'm here.
I just don't think Donnie Baseball's worth $20 million a year. I just don't.
Well, okay. Again, let's.
5 for 74.
This is current.
Is not but I don't know if you need
current. He's leading
You guys, we're getting into the weeds, okay?
Yeah, whatever. Let's say it's 15.
That's a fine. Yes.
Okay.
Then I think you're setting an example then for your fan base that you're recognizing that it's a player that they like. You're recognizing that it's a player that represents the club impeccably. You're recognizing that it's a player that's a leader in the clubhouse, sets the standard. Like, those guys are valuable. Yeah. This is why some people balk at $6.5 million or whatever it is that Braden Shen makes, right? It goes beyond goals and assists.
Right.
We hear players talk about what Braden Shen means to this team. Jimmy Snuggerud talking about what it's meant to him in a short period of time. That stuff matters.
Yeah.
So if you're the Cardinals, start getting this stuff out of the way. Get Donnie on an extension. Lars Nootbaar, be a little more cautious because of his injury history.
I agree.
And I'd maybe pump the brakes there a little bit.
Brandon Kiley, who can do math, says got to take into account his ARB. $5 million in 26, $10 million in 27. I think you're looking at 5 for 50 if you include this year.
Perfect.
10 a year.
10 a year.
Good. And I think Donnie takes that. Imagine 5 years, you're making $50 million as a guy that's a utility player.
And that's a drop in the bucket for a Cardinals for the Cardinals with a player, as you just mentioned, Jamie. He's got leadership. Yeah. He can play everywhere.
Now, that number goes up if he continues to play the way that he's playing.
It certainly does.
So right now, today, maybe it's 5 for 50. At the end of the season, if he's and this is why we talk about getting the business done sooner rather than later, because ask Jerry Jones, it cost him more money the longer he waited for his quarterback and his receiver.
Well, that was just dumb with Dak, though.
That was really dumb.
It's ridiculous, but that's the market. It goes that way. If you wait too long, players, and they continue to perform, or in Dak's case, another quarterback signs and before you do, the number drives up. So for me, if Brendan Donovan is playing this well, he has been a guy that you can depend on. He's a guy that you can lean on. You haven't had any injury issues like Jamie mentioned. He's a guy that shows up every day. You know he's in the lineup.
Yeah.
And that was before he got off to this hot streak. And now he's playing and hitting in the way that he is. He's your 3-hole hitter every single day. No one expected that. So for me, it would make more sense to get it done sooner rather than later, because if he continues this way, you come for 5 for 50, he's going to look at you and say, no, thank you.
What do you guys think of this? We got a text from the 314. It says, I'd rather give money to Herrera, Wynn, or maybe Vic, and pitching. But Herrera, Wynn, and Victor Scott are so young. You don't really know what you have yet. Like,
I thought you meant
well,
Mike Vick.
why don't we use
Mike
that?
Vick got paid.
You
said Vic. I was like, Mike?
Yeah, no, Victor Scott.
Why don't we use that as the first question of part one of the six-pack? 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you do have a question for us, like the one Jamie just read off from the text line, send it in. Sports Six-Pack Part 1 next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. We just got done talking about your St. Louis Cardinals. They'll take on the New York Mets tonight. First pitch is at 6:10. Andre Palante on the mound for the Cardinals. The Blues take on the Jets on Saturday. It is game 1 of round 1 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Pre-game for that one starts at 4. Puck drop is at 5. We talked earlier today with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, right here on the Blues Radio Network. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll do part 1 of our Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with question 1 for the Sports
Question number 1.
Here's Jamie Rivers with question number 1.
Oh, damn, I think I lost it. No, I got it. All right, it's from 314. I'd rather give money to Herrera, Wynn, or maybe Victor Scott. And he followed up with Herrera's a hitter, Wynn gives you defense at a top defensive position, and Wynn is the face of the Cardinals. Victor Scott gives you speed, and most importantly, pitching is something that you need. So, listen, I don't disagree. It'd be great if you could lock him up, but I shouldn't say that, actually. I take it back. I can't lie. I've seen too many baseball players have a good year and then, kind of never do it again.
Name one.
How long have you got? Mason Wynn.
20.
He's injured right now, but how is his season going again?
He's going great. He's hurt.
He wasn't to start.
Okay, well,
defensive.
Victor Scott. It seems like he's found his game.
Yeah.
But what was he before?
No, yeah, I guess.
So there's too many question marks. Herrera can't throw to second base. So if you're extending Herrera, you're extending him as a DH. You already got enough of those guys in your line. You don't need any more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I refrain from the really young, unproven players of extending them, because that's how you get your organization in trouble.
Yeah.
Because then those guys, if let's say that they're good money turned bad money on some of these players, now you're screwed. Brendan Donovan, every year he's come in and proved that he's a major league player and he's contributed to this team at multiple positions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a guy I look at to extend and keep him around. I don't know if you guys feel differently.
No, I'm with you on that. I do think Mason Wynn, extending him a contract at some point, I do think makes a lot of sense. I don't know if he takes it, because I do think he's going to be one of those players that will cash one day, will bank in. So I do like extending him. The other guys that you mentioned, Victor Scott, Ivan Herrera, there's nothing wrong with just letting that play out for a lot longer. Brendan Donovan's a different case. One, he's 28, so he's not going to break the bank, yet you have an opportunity to reward a guy that has stepped into a leadership role and who obviously is he's come into his own. I mean, he's kind of a prototypical Cardinal. So there's a lot more than just rewarding what you're seeing on the field. So
also, I think everybody wants the Atlanta Braves model, but it also is beneficial to have these contracts for young players. And if they're producing, then you don't have to spend all that much because of that.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah, in free agency. Yeah.
And then you could go, if you are a piece away, you have that money to then go out and potentially sign somebody.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's the best way to go about it, but it is something you could do. That's why we see it all the time in the NFL. When's the best time to win a Super Bowl? Well, it's when your quarterback's is on a rookie contract.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Question number 2.
From Grant Francis Fan Club, which St. Louis athlete has the brightest future?
Jason Tatum.
Oh.
Okay, Matthew Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk. Are we talking St. Louis born or playing currently for a St. Louis team? Andrew, you make the choice.
I'd say probably the latter.
Playing for
Just
a
because
team?
the two that you mentioned, I'll even throw Brady in there too. Like they're pretty proven superstars within the league, their respective league.
Oh,
Zach Bolduc.
ooh,
I don't hate it.
That's not a bad one, actually.
I don't hate it. He does have a certain. Let's try English for
Hey,
Jim.
no, you're good.
A sorting?
Yep.
Sorting.
He does have
Certainly.
a certain superstar vibe to him.
A St. Louis star or a superstar?
No, like star in the NHL.
Okay.
He's got the skating stride. He's got good style on the ice. Like, I know it means nothing, but when kids look at him, like, man, like, he looks like a hockey player.
He does.
He's got the little hair flip.
Yeah.
He's like, got the great shot. Like, the last game he scores, he takes that shot, drops his stick, and does a full bicep pose. Like, that's the stuff.
I thought it dropped on accident.
Whatever it is, Kerry, he followed it up with a bicep pose.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that's
instant. That's natural, like, star power stuff. I think Dylan Holloway has the capabilities too, but I just think Zach Bolduc has a little more flair to him.
sure.
Is that the French Canadian in him?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And that actually plays in his favor because he speaks very good English, but he speaks the good English with like a little bit of the French accent. Like it's, it adds to it.
Sure.
I'm sure it does.
Drives him crazy.
I'm sure it does.
Drives the women in Cleveland crazy.
I hate this answer that I'm about to give.
Well, then why give it?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't get that one in. You're right.
What were you going to say?
Avon Herrera.
What?
When he becomes the everyday DH.
Why don't you go with, like Jordan Walker? He's available.
He is available. But I like what Avon Herrera was doing. You don't like home runs, Anthony?
I mean,
you don't like leading the team in
You're
home runs?
the one that hates home runs.
Seriously. Thank you, Jamie.
Earlier today,
Thank you.
You're
I like hitting the
yapping
ball.
about launch angle and velo and all this stuff.
Yeah. I was trying to win a case that you all clearly didn't want me to win.
How about that?
Sometimes you got to jump off a sinking ship, Kerry.
Yeah. We recognize that iceberg caused a lot more damage than a lot of other people. And Jamie and I were in that lifeboat.
And
I would go with both.
I would have let you on the door with me, though.
Did the Titanic sink because of the iceberg, or were there other factors?
Well, you see,
it's definitely the iceberg.
Okay, I heard a
it hit
rumor
the
maybe.
iceberg, and then the way it was designed to be anti-sink actually made it sink more as the water traveled through these passages that were supposed to be anti-sink.
I think that guy
I assure you, sir, she's made of steel. She could sink.
He could have avoided that iceberg.
I think it was too late.
I don't think so.
Came out of nowhere.
That's the problem with the iceberg.
But the problem I have with that whole scene, honestly,
Are
is
we basing this off of a movie?
well, no, that's a documentary. What I hate about it is that there was a beautiful night. As they're looking out into the ocean. It's clear. You see all the stars. People are out watching.
Yeah.
The violinists are going. Everybody's outside. It's wonderful, beautiful night. How do you not see the damn iceberg that capsizes your boat?
Especially when it's right ahead.
Yeah. And then how long did it take that guy to spin the wheel? Like what?
Right.
It was
Couldn't
right.
turn.
I could see that iceberg from here to across the street at Plaza Motors. Okay.
Right.
I could turn my boat before I get there.
That's a
They
big
waited.
boat,
And
Jamie.
somebody was
It was a big
texting
boat.
and boating at the same time.
Yeah.
19 whatever.
They were writing a note on a pigeon.
Can you imagine how
It's a
boring?
beautiful night.
It'd be a boring
In the Atlantic.
documentary if they would have missed that thing.
Yeah. I think it'd be much different. Yeah, for sure. Here's the thing, though. They should have had more lifeboats on that.
I saw a I don't know
Just
what I
more
was
room
How do you
on
not
that
have
door.
enough lifeboats by
No, I was watching
It
something
took
on
away from the
TikTok
aesthetic.
or Instagram where it was a former cruise, works on a cruise, and he said the lifeboats is not always enough. They are not always in operating order. Like they don't always. They're just.
Don't they have
they're just out there.
inspectors?
But they don't always have, some things aren't always up to date, up to par as they need to.
Was it like an ice cream machine at McDonald's or something?
There
Probably.
You go.
Sorry,
it's
never works.
By the way, no chance the machine ever works if you show up to McDonald's drive-thru 30 minutes before they. No chance. They've already cleaned that sucker out. Sorry, sir, the ice cream machine's broken.
Yeah.
Bull spit.
Yeah, it's always broken. By the way, Splashback Deuce was with a dynamite drop-in. Experts say they would have been better off hitting the iceberg head on.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
And denting the hull instead of scraping the side wide open. Great stuff. Great stuff, SD.
Probably
Great stuff.
didn't know that till it was too late. And by too late, I mean, they never knew that.
Like Jamie said, they were writing on that pigeon.
They're panicking.
Because they weren't
Guy picked
texting
his
in
head up.
1912.
What happened? I don't know. I didn't see it the last second.
Yeah.
Too busy drawing pictures.
What were you doing?
Painting.
Couches.
Painting.
Putting clothes on them.
Yeah.
And testing out vehicles.
Question number 3.
Oh, man.
All right, from the 314, who could be our Jaden Schwartz from 2019 in this year's playoff run?
Zach Bolduc.
Ooh. I was going to go with Jake Neighbors, but only because I said Zach Bolduc earlier.
Well, look at Schwartzy end up leading or tied for the lead with Tarasenko in goals for the Blues. Zach Bolduc, the way he finished the season, he's one of your most regular goal scorers.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see him easily getting on track, especially with that power plays clipping with him in that one spot.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
Like it. All right. Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack is next. 314-399-9646 is... No, Zach Bolduc was my guy.
Just going with the odds. The way you say things sometimes, they carry.
Yep, I agree.
I have not been snarky in about 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. When was Prove Me Wrong?
Whatever.
That was wrong.
Whatever, dudes.
Clearly.
Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack next. One of the things I love about our guy, Stewie Jamie, is that you became a client of his. I am a client of his, and we both call the same number that we hand out here on these airwaves. It's 314-324-4440. That is Stewie's personal cell phone number. Again, that's the number we call. It's not like he's got, call my business or call my business hours or
call my people.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're on hold. He's got some big company. No, he's small because he wants to make sure that he gives that personal, old school customer service to each and every person that calls him.
And that's the key, I think, is when you're making a purchase as big as buying a home, or if you're consolidating debt, all of that stuff is stressful. It just is. Anything financial is stressful. It can be stressful for you, stressful on your marriage, with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is. And Stewie takes it very seriously. So he wants to help you out. If it's a home, he wants to find you the best interest rate. If it's not the best interest rate, he's going to refinance you 6 to 8 months later, and he's going to follow the market and give you a call and make sure that you capitalize on certain things. And that's all I need from my guy Stewie, is to make sure that he's got me, and I know that for sure. And all you got to do, again, Anthony, you said it earlier, his number is 314-324-4440. Call him, text him, day, night, doesn't matter. Tell him that Anthony and Jamie sent you in. He loves hearing that. But if you can't remember all that and you're driving for whatever reason, it's a very easy way to get a hold of Stewie. All you have to do is
Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me! The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack is right now. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, fire away.
Question number 4.
From the 314, you crash land on a remote island.
Oh, no.
You get to have 3 items to survive with. What are you picking?
3 items to survive with.
Are we assuming that one of them is not a cell phone that has service?
One of them's not a cell phone. The other one is not an ice skate.
Okay, what was the question again? We're on an island.
On an island.
And what?
You crash.
Yeah.
And you get 3 things to survive with.
And there's certain things we're not allowed to have?
Yeah, you can't have a cell phone.
You can't have a cell phone.
Well, yeah, honestly, the cell phone probably won't even do anything.
I said with service.
Where are you going to get service from?
Can I choose like lumber?
It's lumber. You're on an island. It's trees.
How would you waste that for?
What the hell?
Can I use like
water?
Actually, water would be a good thing.
It would be. You don't want the salt water.
Yeah, salt water. You don't want that.
You can boil the water with the lumber.
You did what I did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
All right. A boat liner.
A boat liner?
A boat liner? What the hell's a boat liner?
Like the boat, basically. I basically want a boat.
Yeah, that's what she wants a boat to leave. Like, what are you doing here?
I wasn't going to be obvious with it.
Give me a pontoon boat, please.
Yes.
What about a volleyball?
I don't want a damn volleyball. I'll take another person.
Bet you will.
You better believe it. If I'm stuck,
I'm right there with you, buddy.
I'm getting one other person with me. I won't be there by myself. If that's that's my one.
Who would you bring with you?
My girlfriend.
No. She's not a choice.
Oh, well.
It's one of us.
Oh, one of us? Oh, wow.
Choose wisely.
Oh, man. I'm probably going Anthony, honestly.
Why is that?
He's got a boat. He's got a damn boat.
I got a boat. Plus, CD and I at that point are probably dying, but we'll laugh. We'll laugh a lot.
Time.
Yeah.
And the thing I know about Anthony is he's not going to go easy. He's not going to die just easily. He's going to exalt.
And you think I am?
No. But I would have a harder time getting you to lock back in.
Yeah, you'd be drunk at one point. You'd figure out where the rum was or some equivalent to it, and then you'd be hammered.
And I'd be like, Jamie, lock in. He's like, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. No,
Right.
we might not be here later, Jamie.
I would come up with a lot of bad ideas, but at some point I'd stumble on one. I'd take you too.
If I was Marshy right now, I'd be more offended. Marshy's the younger, calm, smart
How is that
guy.
going to help me?
You know why I'm not offended? Because I'm not on a remote island in this situation.
Yeah.
How pissed would you guys be if CD's stranded on this island and the little genie pops up? You get to pick one of your Fast Lane co-hosts to be here with you. All of a sudden, you're running around.
What the hell, man? I picked you, brother.
You're my favorite, man. I picked you. You're not my favorite.
You'd be so ticked.
Oh, God, would you really?
What'd you do that for?
I was just on my couch.
Minding my damn business.
That'd be funny. You know what? I think the four of us would do just fine.
We figure it
We
out.
all have certain strengths.
We'd kill each other.
I don't know if we will. At some point, it might be a full-fledged Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
We might start punching each other, but after we punched each other and got it out of the way,
We'd figure it out.
We'd get back to it. Like, I'm sick of you. All right, now
It
we
would
got that out of the
absolutely
way.
happen. About 10 days in.
Yeah.
Because that first couple of days, we on our best behavior. Want to work together.
Yep.
We're a team. Go get the wood. You're going to do this. We're going to
Fish.
try and get some fish or
Right.
some animals. And then somebody will sleep in too late, screw up. Something happens. All of a sudden, the only fire we have is gone. And then it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone's getting it.
Yeah.
It'd probably be like, why? Who put you in charge?
Right.
Like, well, who the hell decided you were in? Well, I just thought, no. And then
Yeah, you didn't think. That's the problem.
What'd you guys do on the island? We were just ran Oklahoma drills the entire time on the beach.
All right, that was fun.
That was good.
Okay.
Question number
I don't think
5.
we ever answered the question, but it turned out to be a great answer anyways.
Do we ever, though?
Yeah, no, we don't.
All right, from 618, what league would be most likely to get an expansion team next, and what city would be the front runner for them?
NFL, London.
NFL, St. Louis.
Nice.
NHL,
Atlanta.
Houston.
MLB, Nashville.
I could see that one too.
Yeah, I can see that one. All right.
Okay, yeah, good.
Good. Yeah, we got it.
All right,
Good answer.
moving on.
Already moving on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
NBA,
we answered it.
No,
Asked and answered.
Okay.
St. Louis.
Fairbanks.
Question number 6.
Justin wants to know,
Fairbanks.
Fairbanks.
does Sonny Gray get a complete game this season, or does he get 20 wins? Pick and choose.
Oh, my. 20 wins. No way in hell he's getting a complete game.
I think he could go a complete game.
No,
I say
what?
complete game.
How many pitchers throw complete games now?
2 a year.
And you're telling me that Sonny Gray's going to be the one? One of the two?
I think that Sonny Gray, it's more likely, if you give me those options, I'll take one complete game over 20 wins. Yeah.
Let's see how many were thrown last year.
Complete games?
Yeah. Yeah, you had a few that threw one. Max Fried threw 2.
Nolan Ryan he can't stand the game of baseball anymore.
Right.
There's no way he watches baseball.
No. Like, this is not my game.
Yep, this is not what I ordered.
Greg Maddux threw 10 in 1994.
All right, so you're saying 20 wins?
I would say 20 wins.
I'm saying complete game. Jamie?
Oh, 20 wins.
I'm going to go with 20 wins.
No kidding.
No chance.
Wow.
No chance Ollie lets anybody pitch a complete game.
Let's see.
Okay.
He had Fetty with a no-hitter and pulled him out.
He was losing steam.
We didn't have any complete games last year.
Not surprising.
Surprise.
Still go with your complete game?
Yeah.
Let's see. Did we have any the year before?
Because he ain't winning 20 games. All right.
Nope.
How did Jim Montgomery turn this ship around for the Blues? Getting to that next on 101 ESPN.
When it comes time to sell your home, you're going to want to use a reliable, experienced, and trusted real estate agent. Take it from me. Call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has been in the business for over 20 years. And she truly understands the dynamic here in St. Louis. And we know it. There's different parts of St. Louis and area that's just priced differently. That's the way it goes. And Gloria Lou, she understands that. So what she's going to do, she's going to sit down with you, and you guys are going to figure out a sales price. And then she's going to sell your home for the most money that she possibly can. And a couple of the reasons why that she's going to sell your home is she has a database with thousands of buyers that are in there that she's going to drive to your listing. And that'll mean more showings for your home, hopefully multiple offers, and maybe even above the price that you're asking. But the biggest thing out of all that is Gloria's going to get you to the closing table. So if you're looking to sell your home, please call Gloria Lou. Tell her Jamie Rivers sends you in there. Her number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 504. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Kerry Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals is on Saturday, and we'll have all the coverage for you starting at 4 o'clock with the pregame show, and the puck will drop at 5 o'clock in Winnipeg, and it should be a very interesting series. Jamie, the impact of Jim Montgomery, and I don't know if they're here without Jim Montgomery. What can you do? I find it interesting because you've broken things down from an on-ice standpoint and an off-ice standpoint with the impact that Jim Montgomery has made. How is he able to turn this group around and get them to play at their best? I mean, even if you want to take it, almost player by player.
Yeah, so it didn't happen overnight. Even though his first game was a victory against the New York Rangers, there was a lot of work to be done. Stylistically, the team was not a team that looked like a Jim Montgomery coached team. And he just subtly made some changes, forcing the team to play inside the dots. What that does is it completely crowds up the middle of the ice. The most prime real estate in all of hockey is the middle of the ice. Mm-hmm. And so when you have a team that's dedicated to defending the middle ice inside the dots, it means you're not overextending yourself either. So like in the defensive zone, You're not hoping to go make a play running outside the dots. When you go, you know you've got a 50, 60% chance at making a play.
Yeah.
And then as soon as one guy leaves the middle of the ice, the next guy covers his spot. So that was a philosophy that was brought in. It took them a while to all grasp that, but then we saw it come to full fruition following Four Nations. I won't say the 12-game win streak, just overall, much better team defensively than we've seen since 2019. And I use that because that was, 2022, because the following year the Blues were exceptional defensively. So we'll use those 2 years as our earmark or whatever. And so that's one way of doing it. The second thing he did is he empowered the young guys to play their game. And that's the one thing we learned about Jim Montgomery when he was an assistant coach. But being an assistant coach is different. You have a different role. You have a different relationship with the players. And as much as Monty is an excellent dude, happy guy, all these things, he's the boss now. Mm-hmm. When you're the assistant coach, you can always be the happy guy because you got the head coach that can be the hard ass if need be. So he managed to balance being the disciplinarian, but also empowering his young players. And I think he did a lot of that through the coaching staff too. And Monty's been known to create little 3, 4, 5 game segments with players to realize certain goals and teach them things. And Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas were two of those guys way back when he was an assistant coach. And to me, that's just when you allow the team, the players, to do what they do best, and then they know that if they do that, they'll play more. They'll get more opportunity. And that's all Monty says. We talked about... was it Dalibor Dvorsky and Jimmy Snuggerud coming here at the end, and everybody says, well, how do you expect to play these guys, Mm-hmm. And he said, well, if they play good, I'm going to play them. Mm-hmm. And what that looks like, I don't know, but if they're playing well and they're doing the right things, I'm playing them. There's no, dipping our toes in the water here. And he was true to his word. Dalibor Dvorsky was a big game against Nashville, too, his very first NHL game. He played him. Regular shift, even give him some power play time.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Snuggerud, we've seen that from the very get-go. He's let him play. Zach Bolduc, he basically said, I can't have Zach Bolduc in the press box. I can't have him playing 7-8 minutes a game. That's not his game. So Zach Bolduc now, since becoming a regular player and now a power play guy, we just said he could be the next star of this team.
Right.
So, but that doesn't happen without Jim Montgomery. It just doesn't. Mm-hmm. So these are the things that he's been able to do with this club. And he's also done an excellent job of empowering his coaching staff. David Alexander, nobody talks about Davey Alexander. Not enough, anyways. And he is honestly one of my favorite psychopaths ever. He's the ultimate goalie guru. I sit and talk with him for extended periods of time. He's just a really super intelligent guy. But he's a psychopath. He's married to, not to his job, because he's got great, all that, but he's so intense. You look down at the shootouts now. The Blues have had a very successful season in the shootouts. They lost in Seattle, but overall, they've had a pretty good season. Jim Montgomery told Davey Alexander, because he used to radio down to Steve Ott and tell him who should be shooting, because he monitors all this stuff. Jim Montgomery said, no. From now on, we go to shootout, you're on the bench with us. Get your ass down here. You're on the bench. You're coaching. I'm going to step back. You know the goalies we're playing against. You know our shooters, and you're in charge. Mm-hmm. And you look down there, and Davey Alexander is on the bench directing traffic. Anthony, this is a guy that's been relegated to the press box for every other coach.
Right.
On the radio, mind you, he's a part of things, but now Monty's drug him down to the bench. Mm-hmm. With Mike Weber, empowered him to work more with the young players and be firm and whatever. Steve Ott is basically an associate head coach. And Otter now does all sorts of things. So not only do the players benefit, the coaching staff has benefited, and we've seen that the end result is that it's a much better product that's headed in the right direction. He's created a sustainable way of playing. Mm-hmm. It's not like this is going to be the one where, like Marshy said earlier, they got in the playoffs and they were dismantled the next year because nobody could keep that style of play going. No, not the case at all.
The one thing that I picked up on, and CD, maybe you can echo this too, because I imagine the Steelers are run the same way.
I have to retract something. I apologize. David Alexander is my favorite hockey psychopath. Ashley, my girlfriend, is my favorite psychopath overall.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did she send you a message?
Yeah, she goes, I thought I was your favorite psychopath. You are, honey. Okay? As we know, hockey psychopath would be Dave Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get a good ratio of psychopaths in my life.
Good, yeah. Well, you had a couple in here, too.
Yeah. I mean, I've had others, but not in a positive way.
No. We're only talking positive in this segment.
That's right.
Kerry, I imagine these Steelers are run the same way. One thing that I picked up from Jamie here is that Jim Montgomery has gotten everybody involved. Mm-hmm. Everybody feels like they've got stake in the success. And you may think like, well, just walking through the door, that should happen. But it doesn't. Think about any job. Think about a job that you have had where you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know if anybody cares I'm here.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you're a part of it and you're vested in it, you're invested in the company's success, and you're going to be rewarded individually and from a team standpoint, you're more willing to do what it takes.
Yeah, I think if you do feel more engaged and more involved, you definitely feel like you're a part of the success that you're having. And I think great leadership knows how to delegate responsibilities. It's not my way or the highway. It's not solely on me to tell everyone what they're supposed to do. You talked about the penalty coach and the power play coach, them switching responsibilities. How do you beat him? How would you beat him? And that allows everybody to get better. It shows you the flaws that you may not have seen, the blind spots that you have, and it helps you grow as a coach and become better. So, I think Monty has done a great job. I think the one thing that he's done to turn the ship around the most is just putting the onus on the players. Mm-hmm. You all have to play better. You all have to commit to one another. You all have to. He has said it so many times when he comes on our station, on our show, about being selfless and how this team. And when you watch this team play earlier in the season, it didn't feel like they were being selfless. It didn't feel like they were playing for one another. That doesn't mean that they don't like each other. That doesn't mean that they don't love each other. They're just not they're not connected in a way that allows them to have success. And when you watch them now, you feel like this team is truly connected. This person is going to block this shot. I know he is. I don't have to think about it. It's going to be done. He's going to sacrifice himself and his ankle, his knee. You talk about you say the inner part of the thigh. That's a bad spot, Jamie?
That's a horrible spot.
Hit?
They have no padding.
No padding there?
None.
That's a bad spot. They sacrifice it. Don't matter because we're all in this together. And I think that's the one thing that I've seen from this team before Jim Montgomery got here until now is that they are playing connected and they are playing selfless and playing for one another.
That's Kerry Davis. That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Ethan Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Speaking of the Blues and Jets, we're going to do a Stanley Cup Playoffs Game 1 preview with some questions that Marsh pulled out for that matchup. That's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Round 1 playoffs. Jets and Blues will be at 4 o'clock. Pregame show, 5 o'clock. The puck will drop on Saturday. All right, Round 1. What does each team do well, and how can it be exploited?
How can what they do well be exploited?
Yeah. Well, what does each team do well? How about that? And how can they exploit the other team?
Yeah,
so, like, what do the Blues do well? How can they use it to exploit the Jets?
Yeah. So the Blues, both teams are actually very eerily similar. They're built from the net out. Both got good defensive cores. Both have hardworking forwards with some talent, some high-end talent, but neither team has a superstar. Kyle Connor's not a superstar. Mark Scheifele's not a superstar. They're really good players, but they're not superstars. So both teams are kind of built similarly. I think for the Blues, the key comes to who can control two things. Who can control the middle of the ice, what we just talked about, and who can win the net fronts. Mm-hmm. That to me is the playoff series. That's it right there. Because the Jets have a very big D-core, and they're going to box out in front. They're going to do their best to be... We saw it last time we played Winnipeg. Couldn't get to the middle ice. Couldn't get to the front of the net. What happened? Couldn't win.
Yeah.
Now, did we have our best game? No. We didn't. But same could be said in return. Were you able to get to your best game? Maybe not, because the Jets were so good.
Right.
Like, who knows? So that, to me, is where this playoff series is going to be won with these two teams. Kyle Connor... keep him outside the dots. Mark Scheifele's a big guy. He's going to get inside. He's going to get his opportunities to score goals net front. Blues defensemen are just going to have to be really tough in front of him. So that to me is the playoff series.
What about the Jets?
They did the same thing.
Same thing.
Hey, I'm not doing this to ruin the segment.
How can the Blues crack that defensive code then? Like, even if you want to use specific players with the Blues?
Yeah. Listen, you have to work to get to the inside. I know that sounds like, oh, okay, well, what does that look like? Well, it looks like you actually skate to the middle ice and you support the puck, and the Blues are going to have to put pucks into open ice in the middle and slash through there. It cannot be denied.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot be denied. That's the bottom line. And you get a battle in front with a defenseman, you've got to find a way to get inside position. Don't let that guy get inside position, much like basketball now. The front of the net for hockey is much like basketball when you're boxing guys out in the playoffs. It's not like it used to be, the big old cross checks and the punches in the back of the head and things like that.
Yeah.
Referees are calling that. So now it's establishing body position. Who can get there first? Who can get to the area first? And so it becomes down to a hunger to get to the open ice more than the guy who's trying to defend that open ice.
The Blues are pretty good off the rush. How much will that be limited in the playoffs? It's a different game, those playoffs are.
They're few and far between. So what you have to do is if you get a good opportunity off the rush, you got to make it count.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have an opportunity to make it count, you got to take it in, keep possession of the puck. Don't give the puck away. Don't just fire a shot from the wing thinking, I hope it goes in, and then it rings around and the other team's headed back the other direction on you. No good. Here's one, though. Sorry, Kerry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Here's one, though, that I think is relevant. And this is going to become so relevant if Winnipeg stubs their toe in game 1 or 2. So the last time Connor Hellebuck was in a playoff series, coming off a Vezina Trophy season, same as this year. He's going to win the Vezina this year. He played 5 games, 1 win, 4 losses, an .864 save percentage, a 5.23 goals against.
Was that against the Oil?
Not great.
Yeah, not great. Now, the last time Jordan Binnington was even just in a playoff series, played 6 games. 4 wins, 1 loss. He didn't finish the one because he got hurt the Kadri thing.
Right.
Okay. .949 save percentage, a 1.72 goals against. And I was talking to Winnipeg media today. I did a whole show in Winnipeg, their sports show. They had me on.
What the hell, man?
Talking. Sorry, they asked for you. They said they couldn't get a hold of you, so they went to me instead.
Makes sense.
But all they can talk about is 2019 and Jordan Binnington right now. That's all the media is talking about. So if you're the Winnipeg Jets, the team overall, and you stub your toe in game 1 or 2, the media has already told me what they're going to do up there. they're going to be like, Dad, does this got to remind you of 2019? Are you guys worried at all? And then let alone if Jordan Binnington steals a game or Connor Hellebuck has a little greasy one go through that he should have had, but they lose. Then it'd be like, well, the Hellebuck, Connor, we know the tough times in the playoffs for you. What is it about playoffs that makes you not play your best? That is going to come to the front of the classroom immediately. And then does Winnipeg have enough intestinal fortitude to ignore that? So that's where, to me, that's where this series, there's a psychological element to this too.
Intestinal fortitude.
I like that. All right, Carey.
Coach mode there for a second.
Who will be the impact player in game one?
He just hit the nail on the head. And I was going to add Jordan Binnington, but you mentioned your favorite psychopaths in hockey, and I'm shocked that Jordan wasn't. 1A or 1B.
I guess I'm going to have to create categories now?
On the ice, off the ice?
I know a lot of psychos on the ice, though.
Okay, well,
that list
currently.
is long. Okay, currently? Yeah. No, Jordan Binnington is definitely, he's a stone cold killer.
There you go.
So, but David Alexander doesn't play.
Yeah, so on the ice, off the ice.
I'll expand my categories.
There you go.
Okay?
All right.
Carey, I apologize.
No problem. Jordan Binnington. We saw him in the Four Nations face-off. We saw what he's capable of. We've seen him in high-pressure moments and not blink, not fold, not shy away from it, and just shows up and he shuts everything down. And we've talked about the scenario where this is what Blues fans wanted, honestly. Yeah, just get in because you felt like you got a guy in Jordan Binnington that can win you a game, that can steal you a game. No better opportunity than right now. Again, we literally just saw this a few months ago, him shutting down and shutting out everything that was coming his way in the Four Nations face-off. So for me, it's Jordan Binnington. I know that's an easy answer, but I think it's really probably the only answer.
That's who I'm picking, too. I tweeted out February 12th, this had to be during the Four Nations. I said, I need the Blues in the playoffs and to steal a series after seeing the multitude of Canadians having meltdowns on this app over Jordan Binnington. And here we are.
Well, Marcia, that leads into what I said just a couple minutes ago. And let me even expand it. It's not just the Canadian media. Every Canadian hockey fan knows who Jordan Binnington is now. Every hockey fan up there that they're going to be watching these games, and the moment Binner steals a game, it's going to be crazy. It just is. Well, I can't beat him. Like, remember Four Nations Day? Hey, Ralph, remember that? At the bar, they'll be yelling at each other, and that's just the way it's.
Ralphs in Winnipeg.
I don't know, maybe it's got to be a couple.
Handful.
Hey, Claude. It's got to be a French guy there too, right? But this is going to be a thing. It just is.
So essentially, Winnipeg needs game one badly.
I would say so.
Or else things could get ugly.
Or if they lose game two and
is-
Binnington steals it,
Okay.
then all of a sudden, like, oh boy.
Pressure gets ratcheted up. Good luck. Yeah. I like it, boys. It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. We're going to play Beat the Streak, and we'll have our Bet the Board picks next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Kerry Davis, and if you have not visited Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership, then what are you waiting for? It is conveniently located right off of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive and 5601 Veteran Memorial Parkway in St. Peters. Experience the luxury service at their brand new facility. You can stop by for exclusive in-store offers. See the largest selections of new Genesis models in stock ready for you to take home today. But if you're a busy person, like me, you got a lot of things going on, you can't get in there, you got a busy schedule, or maybe you just don't want to. You never have to step foot in their store. You can buy your new Genesis entirely online with clear upfront pricing, including your trade, and even have it delivered up to 100 miles from the dealership. All you need to do is visit them at genesisofstcharles.com to get that thing taken care of. But I urge you to go in. You got to see the Deluxe Lounge. They got some of the best coffee you will ever have. Trust me, it is amazing. They will also do the work of your car right in front of you. Most places don't offer that. You can see the car being serviced as you sit there sipping on your wonderful coffee. Visit them today at in St. Peters, right off Mid-Rivers Mall, or visit them online at St. Charles, genesisofstcharles.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues take on the Jets in round one, game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Saturday is game one, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 4. Puck drop is at 5. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Chris Kerber, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. It's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The Cardinals take on the Mets tonight. Andre Palante is on the mound. First pitch is at 6:10. We are going to play Beat the Streak next, as well as Bet the Board. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Time to play Beat the Streak. We got Nick on the line right now. What's up, Nick?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Doing great. Ryder. He went home. Marsh. Marsh.
Yes.
What's the latest streaks for everybody?
Yeah, Jamie has a streak of 3. He is leading the pack right now. I have a streak of 2. Nick has a streak of 2. And Carey has a streak of 1. Unfortunately for you, Anthony, in the Houston Astros 2-0 victory the other day, Isak Paredes did not get a base hit.
That guy sucks. All right, here we go. Jamie.
Yeah, all right. It was a tough one. Brendan Donovan, please.
Okay, Donnybrook.
I think it's that tough.
Marsh.
Pretty much every game.
I'll let Nick go.
Nick.
What?
I don't think it's that tough.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to take Lars Nootbaar.
Newt is off the
Great
board.
pick.
I will go ahead and go with Alec Burleson.
Boys, filling the Redbirds, are you?
Already typed it in, Carey.
Well, tell me who you typed in.
Juan Soto.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. That's fine.
Is that who you wanted?
I'll take him.
You can pick your own person.
You pick
I just
for me.
figured you would pick Juan Soto.
I wasn't going to pick him. He's gone over, but I think you feel something, Marshy. He's gone over against us.
Well, I don't want to be, the reason why
Carey
you're
will do that. He'll do that. He'll
might.
turn that on you in a heartbeat.
Nah.
Unless Anthony wanted Juan Soto.
I'll take Francisco Lindor. I probably should have took Juan Soto. Nope. You know what, Marsh? Keep it. Keep it. Keep it. Anthony, you can have Francisco. You look like a Francisco kind of guy.
Give me the flock of seagull haircut, Pete Alonso.
Ooh.
Oh. Big, strong guy.
Big, strong guy, Pete Alonso. All right. Jamie took Brendan Donovan. Nick, our listener, took Lars Taylor Tatsui. Nootbaar. Andrew Marsh took Alec Burleson. CD took Soto. Then Lindor. Then went back to Soto. And I took Pete Alonso. That is Beat the Streak. All right, Nick, good luck to you, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. From Beat the Streak to Bet the Board.
Let's go, baby.
You know who we look like? No. The guys from Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
You, me, him, you, me. No, you're all right.
Okay.
All right. Marsh, what are the latest standings for Bet the Board?
All right, Anthony, you have 10 points.
Yes.
You were the only person last night.
That's the only reason he asked for that, by the way. Don't do
100%.
that. He knows. We all know the standings. He did that crap on purpose. I know you by now. Trust me.
He doesn't ask when he's losing.
No, not a chance.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, 10? I got 10 points.
Anthony, you have 1 point. 10 times.
Thank you.
Shut up.
Who's next?
Jamie has 8 points. He's not that far behind you. Neither are CD and myself. We have 7, so you could have a bad week next week.
Good month.
Yeah, how do you do?
Dead last.
Oh, dead last? Yeah, no, I had a good day. I'll take the Yankees minus 110 against the Rays at George M. Steinbrenner Stadium.
Oh, boy.
Give me the Yankees minus 110, please.
All right. I'm going NHL. Not too many teams give a crap right now, especially some of the ones that are already locked and loaded, whatnot. But there are a couple of teams that are playing that I could see them wanting to at least score goals. So I got Philadelphia against Buffalo. I got Tage Thompson for a power play point tonight.
Nice.
Plus 280.
Okay.
It's on me. Give me Juan Soto. 1.5 hits, runs, RBI.
You sure?
Yeah. I took him. I mean, Marsh made me take him in the beat the streak.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he made you.
I think he
Kinda
did.
did.
He wrote it down. It was already written down.
Yeah, but I feel like you then
it's Marsh.
said, you know what, I'll take Lindor, and then you went back.
Anthony, don't tell him what he thought, okay?
Please. Thank you, Jamie.
I learned a long time ago, you can't tell somebody what they think. You can't tell somebody how they feel.
This is true. You cannot. That's
You
a
should know
valuable
this.
lesson.
We've all been to therapy.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say.
Valuable lesson you learn in therapy.
Otherwise, that's a lot of hours and money wasted.
Oh, my God. You're just wasting your time.
Very true. All right, there you have it.
I guess I don't get to go.
Well, what are you waiting for? What are you
I'm waiting for you guys to
What are you typing in all our
stop
stuff?
speaking.
What are you waiting? What are you doing a great job making sure that we have all our picks recorded?
Wow. No, actually, I forgot to put yours in, Anthony.
Us three bums don't do anything. Huh? Is that what you?
I don't
is that
really
what you
like
mean?
what you're insinuating, Marshy.
I do a lot.
I'm going to go with an NBA pick tonight. Give me Ja
Rule.
Morant, 38 plus points.
I don't think Ja Rule's available.
I don't think you want to pick him if he is.
Fire Island there.
For the Fire.
Fire Island.
The Memphis Fire.
Festival.
Yeah. All right. So what do you have?
Ja Morant, 38 plus points, rebounds, assists.
Ja Rule, Anthony. Pay attention. What the hell is wrong with you?
No, I asked the second time because I don't think Ja Rule's playing tonight
He's
in
available.
the NBA.
He's available. I don't think he's playing.
Okay. By the way, we all correctly picked. Wait.
What?
You taking an NBA pick tonight?
Yeah.
You may want to pick another game.
It's not tonight?
What?
It's the 18th.
Yeah, it is.
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. The
Oh, I
18th.
thought today was the 18th.
Picks in. That's it.
Seats tanking.
Ja Rule it is.
Despite your angst,
Shame
to
on
me,
you, Anthony.
I am playing this game fairly, and Marsh just took a game that's for tomorrow night. So I'd like the kid to have another shot here.
Proud of you, Anthony.
I am going to go
Good soft.
with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
For you, I wouldn't say anything.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Penguins.
Money line tonight.
All right.
Minus 118. I don't think the Capitals really need to do anything, you know. Sidney Crosby. This whole season's been about Ovechkin. Sidney Crosby's going to make sure he wins tonight's game.
Nice. All right. There you
See
have it.
that?
By the way, CD, we neither you nor I took the Heat last night, but we both said, we like the Heat.
Yeah.
They were old.
They did.
Against the Bulls.
I had the Kings. The Mavericks actually won.
Yeah, Dallas 120-106. What's your observations thus far in the play-in tournament? I won't ask Jamie.
I think it's been outstanding. You know, it's been fun.
Who has impressed you the most in the 4 games?
I mean,
Oh, it's
the
the
Warriors,
best of the worst.
obviously.
It's great.
The Warriors are a team, again, the only reason they're in the play-in tournament, Jamie, is because they had to trade for Jimmy Butler late in the season. They were struggling. And once they got him on their roster, they needed that extra playmaker, that scorer. I think the Warriors are going to make turn some heads in the playoffs.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah. I was surprised that Dallas won, too, though. Like, Dallas, they've been stinking. They have a good roster when they're healthy, even minus Luka.
Yeah.
They just got to stay healthy.
And they won't.
And they won't. Kyrie's out for the year, so we'll see how far that goes.
And Anthony Davis is out probably at some point.
Not yet. He had 27 points last night.
Which means he'll be hurt.
Now you all got me saying Ja Rule. Ja Morant did turn his ankle against the Warriors. I wonder if he's going to be completely healthy. He did come back into the game, but might be moving a little slow. So that'd be an interesting one as well.
So Miami opens in Atlanta tomorrow night, and Dallas opens in Memphis tomorrow night. And we've got some NBA action for you tomorrow. Hawks and Heat. We got both games, actually, right here on 101 ESPN.
Jamie will be tuned in.
What?
On his flight to Winnipeg.
You sure those games aren't tonight, Anthony?
Yeah. No.
I can't wait to watch the NBA. And while I'm in Canada when the NHL playoffs are about to happen.
Priorities.
What do you think? Over under of the TVs in the bar in Winnipeg that are playing the basketball game?
I'll take 0.5.
Let's say there's 20 TVs.
20 TVs.
I say,
what's the number you're setting it at? 20 TVs.
1.5.
That's what I would say.
I'll take the
I'll
under.
take the under as well.
I say it's
One
on
TV.
one TV.
And then you can't barely see that.
Are the Raptors in this thing?
No.
No. Okay.
I will say
half.
20 TVs. There will be 2. One for each person that can look both ways, right? So the people over here, they don't have to turn their head.
Oh, what do you mean? I thought you meant like they had a face and eyes in the back of their head.
No, that's in Harry Potter, Anthony.
Is it?
Yeah, the Sorcerer's Stone.
Haven't seen that.
Okay.
Never seen
I think I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's what we tell our kids. I got eyes in the back of my head.
Yeah.
I see everything.
I default to the guy who really sees everything is Santa Claus.
That's true. Very good. Very good point.
Makes it easy.
Definitely thought you were going to say someone else.
But all the other TVs will have TSN on. Would you agree?
Sportsnet.
Or Sportsnet.
Yeah, I would
Every
say so too.
TV will have hockey on. I guarantee it.
Except for one.
There might be a Blue Jays game on one of the TVs.
Oh, so you don't think any NBA?
No, I don't.
Wow. Okay. We have.
You know what? I'll let you know.
Yeah, please do. What, you're gonna find your way to the bar?
Well, I wasn't going to originally,
but now you're going.
Now,
Memphis.
I feel like I owe it to the show.
So you report back to us?
Yeah,
that's nice.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
All right, Dale.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies in there. There might be some Canadians tuned in.
No.
Well, they used to be in Vancouver.
There you go.
That's true.
Sure, they got some people that are Grizzlies fans still.
Yeah, the real bear, not the NBA.
They root on real grizzly bears. Carey, don't get it confused. All right, what we learned, criticisms and compliments, and Marsh's 3 stars of the day. That's all next on 101 ESPN. If you miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today. Jamie, what'd you learn?
I learned a couple things about Carey. He preaches that he likes that old school baseball and all this stuff. Put the ball in play. He really doesn't mean it.
No,
One, he doesn't think Tony Gwynn's very relevant. And two, he talks about home runs, launch angle, exit velo. Those are his real passions. So surprising, disappointing, but that's what I learned.
Carey.
I learned that my name is actually not on the door. I thought it was. You two took it off. You took it off. And I also learned that Ja Rule not playing the NBA.
No.
It's Ja Morant.
Ja Morant.
Yet.
You never know.
Turns out your name is still on the door.
Okay. Yeah. Jamie took it off.
No, I didn't take it off.
No, it's still there.
We just moved it to last.
That's fine.
It was first. Marsh, what'd you learn today?
I learned something that we actually didn't bring to the airwaves, but I'm going to bring it up right now. It is that Carey Davis did something last night that Anthony Stalter absolutely despises.
What did I do?
What did you do this time, Carey?
I don't know.
He went and saw a movie that is a musical.
I did. I took my daughter to see Snow White.
And how was
about 8 minutes into the movie, I'm like, oh, this is a musical.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I wasn't bothered. I just would have liked to have known.
Would you go see it again?
I mean, if my daughter wanted to see it again,
No,
sure.
would you go independently?
No, I wouldn't. But if she wanted to.
Was it tough?
It wasn't
Every
bad.
8 minutes or so,
How
they
many
decided
times
to
did
break
you have
in.
to remind yourself you're there for your daughter?
I was fine. I mean, I like movies. She was good. She enjoyed it. She had fun.
That's the only thing
all
that matters.
Yeah, she had a good time.
Yeah.
She liked it.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Off to work we go.
Hi ho.
That's what Anthony says every time we
Yeah, where they would come into the studio.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
break out and sing song.
Whistle while you work. Whistle while you work.
What I learned today. What I learned today is that Carey and I, at some point, will have to be trapped on a island, and
yeah, you guys should do it for sure.
neither of us will get off of it at some point. I mean, it just, we don't know what to bring. Carey's going to bring a cell phone that doesn't work.
At least I'm trying, Anthony.
He tried to bring a boat.
I did try to bring a boat.
Just a liner, though. What the hell?
I figured we could build it.
If you're going to bring a liner, just ask for the whole damn boat.
I didn't think we could build. I didn't think we could bring a boat. I thought that was cheating.
Somebody else texted in. Why wouldn't you ask for a pilot in a plane?
I'm assuming some of these things are unavailable.
Well, that's probably how
Where's
you
he gonna
got there,
land it?
right?
How big's the island?
I don't know.
Better be a water plane.
We got to search.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just look around the
We
island.
have a helicopter.
Yeah.
There you go. That'd be better.
I mean, really, anything to get off the island, of course. But
Anything.
You guys think,
I feel like some of these things are, you can't just have them.
you think you guys would have a better ending than the show Lost?
Oh, anything's
yeah,
better than that.
absolutely.
That was terrible.
No,
That
they would have a
was
happy
terrible.
ending for sure,
ask.
Marshy.
No, not.
Of course.
Don't like where you.
Do you guys really think that the four of us could figure it out?
Yes.
I do too.
I'm positive.
For sure.
I like the challenge. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Just drop us on an island and see if we get back.
We'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be fine.
All right.
We'll figure it out, man.
I think we'd be able to do it. And if we got hungry and is desperate.
Who are you eating first? Marshy?
I don't know. It's hopefully nobody. Hopefully nobody.
Yeah, you go with the person who has the most muscle, right?
Jamie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Although Carey,
We'd feel terrible.
Carey's
though.
backside has enough for quite a while.
You're not gonna be able to chew after you. I'm taking everything with me.
Carey, come on.
Now I'm telling you.
You got to sleep at some point.
This is true. That'd be the best way.
You think I'm just going to walk up and try to take you down? No. I'll be like, all right, Carey, me. I'll find that booze somewhere or a plant that would boil that gets us all messed up. Hey, Carey, just drink up.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, I'm sharpening shanks as I go to sleep now.
Carey, it's better for you if you sleep on your stomach.
It's good to know that you guys would eat me first.
Marsh, we would feel horrible.
But I feel like you would be the healthiest
horrible.
out of all three of
You weren't in here the other day when he let it go. No, he's probably not.
But that can also be a sign that he's healthy.
I think he's less contaminated.
I think so, too. Yeah.
Than you two.
Yeah. And you.
Yeah,
Definitely you.
Definitely you.
I would try and make sure that
last.
you guys couldn't find me.
Hey, guess what? Not offended.
I would try and hide. I'd be up in a tree.
Well, what help are you going to be for us if you're hiding all the time?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe so you don't eat me?
All we'd have time to do is hunt you down.
You would be have our face paint on. It does that one movie where they're chasing the one guy that's running. I think it's Ice-T.
Yes, yes.
I forget what it's called.
What's it called?
And they're like, hey, man, they bring him out. And they release him. He's like,
I want to say it's like Lone Survivor or something. That's not it.
They're like, good luck.
Lone Survivor was the Mark Wahlberg, the real movie. Oh, what's
It's going
that?
to drive me nuts. Text line, activate. Ice-T movie where they're hunting him.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Surviving the game or something.
Yeah, that's
I think that's it.
Is it?
Yeah, Ice-T movie, Surviving the Game.
That's it. Nice.
Yes. Rutger Hauer's in it, too.
Yeah, like John Lithgow.
Yeah, they're like, release him.
What's the real crazy guy?
Willem Dafoe?
No. He's in there, too. Gary Busey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Old Chicklets himself.
Anyways, that'd be you, Marsh. Good news is Ice-T survived. He
And
killed them all.
Good news is you keep yourself in good shape.
Yeah.
Good news is we're not on this island.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways,
that.
go ahead, Marsh.
All right, you guys ready for our 3 stars of the day?
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to Ja Rule.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Not Ja Morant. Actually not playing tomorrow in the play-in tournament.
He's not?
Anthony.
No.
Nope.
No? Why not?
Ja Rule? He's a rapper.
Oh, Ja Rule's not playing.
Ja Morant.
Yes.
Yes.
The text line just said, you guys know everything about damn Snow White, but can't figure out the action movie? We got there, okay?
That movie was made a long time ago.
Seriously.
Anthony's boat liner is our 2nd star of the day.
Just get a damn boat, Anthony.
I'm thinking it was eliminated. So the next best thing is you get the liner, and then you build it.
I'll take a yacht.
Okay.
We'll just live on
You know,
that.
fine. We're eating Jamie first.
Okay.
You just moved yourself right up to the
Go
top.
ahead.
You're going to be hammered one night.
You eat me, you won't be far behind.
Guys, I don't feel good.
What do we eat?
This is awful.
And I'll be looking down at you going, dummy.
I ingested a lot of poison last night. I knew what you guys were doing.
I knew it was up. I saw the sign language.
Well, guys, it doesn't matter what type of boat you have because nothing is beating our 1st star of the day. That is the iceberg.
Yeah.
And not the Pittsburgh Penguins mascot, Anthony.
No. Jean-Claude Van Damme wore that outfit one
yes,
time.
he did.
Yeah.
He played goalie, too.
Did a lot of things in that movie.
He did.
Security was a little loose, I think.
Little loose. That's why they let all those terrorists in.
Yeah,
you know?
oh yeah, the hockey game.
That'll do it for us. Jamie, you're off tomorrow.
Yeah,
because
flying to old Winnipeg.
You're going to Winnipeg.
You got to check out those bars. Make sure
absolutely
TVs cover our over-under.
We appreciate that. We really do.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so Jamie's going to go to Winnipeg, where the Blues will take on the Jets in Game 1 of Round 1. And we'll have the coverage for you. Pregame at 4, puck drop at 5, right here on the Blues Radio Network, 101 ESPN. But Marsh, Carey, and I will be back tomorrow. We'll talk a little Mets and Cardinals and look ahead to this weekend's games as well. For Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh and Kerry Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. We will see you.